People talk about Perryville's Civil War history because that's what we're the best known for, but we were one of the early stations in Kentucky, and one of the early settlers here was a fellow by the name of James Harbison. They had Harbison's Fort, and behind this house was a cave, and the cave was the center of the fort. So this house is sitting in the original place where the original Harbison's Fort was. James Harbison and his son-in-law and another man was out in the fields right across the river here plowing corn, and an Indian raiding party came in and killed him and his son-in-law. James's head was dismembered from his body, and they brought it back to his wife. She put it in a crock jar and preserved it, hoping someday to find the rest of his body. You know, we have a lot of paranormal activity here. The head is buried in the cemetery on top of the hill.
Being a huge Civil War buff, I'm really excited about this case. I've been in Cheatham, I've been to Gettysburg, I've been to Vicksburg, but I've never been to Perryville. Read a lot about it. Crazy scenario, crazy battle. What do you know about it, Melina?
I mean, it is a crazy battle. You're absolutely right. It was one of the largest and one of the last battles actually fought in Kentucky. The most Confederate officers died in this battle. It was so bloody, the river actually ran red with blood, which is quite an image. And what I think is really interesting about this one in particular was it was very bloody, very deadly, but only around 1,500 soldiers actually died on the battlefield. But in total, over 7,000 would die from wounds.
Yeah, I think for me, what really stands out about this is a lot of people want to think about the battle, right? The day where everybody died, and that's like the day everything changed. So people are gonna, come up with ghost stories maybe about, they hear gunshots and gunfire and all that. But if you want to think about the haunting of the place, right? A lot of the activity that we found in places always have that kind of long-standing life. There's been a lot of cases where the activity seems to be tied to individuals who stayed at a place in a long time, people who've undergone hardship, right? And they had to endure that. That's the story of Perryville for me. You had a bunch of these soldiers who were displaced and had to basically sit there and reconstruct their whole lives. The town had to be rebuilt.
So for me, this town is very exciting to get here and actually just talk to the citizens, because just from what you've both said, there's a strong psychological element into this town. The fact that it's the bloodiest battle, it all fought in one day, the river ran red. So I think in people's minds, there's an expectation that there should be something supernatural going on. And I think it's also an expectation of ghost mythology that's tied into these sort of events. So for me, it's really perhaps a area where psychological events and group hysteria is taking place. And so people, even in a fun way, it's not group hysteria in terms of a negative thing, but in terms of the whole environment of this town, it embraces its haunting aspect. And I think that will help stimulate people at nighttime, especially if they hear something weird or there's a weird reflection, to think that they've seen a ghost.
All right, Allie, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and telling us your relationship and association with the Carrick Park House.
I'm Allie Huff, and I'm the Executive Director of Main Street Perryville, and we own the Carrick Parks House, the organization does.
So as a Perryville resident, I'm just curious, in your opinion, what was your first, impression of the Carrick Parks House?
It's quite grand. From the outside looking to it, you just wonder what happened here and who lived here and what was the story behind it. The first time I came in here, one, it's the state of the house can be a little devastating seeing it at first. But just knowing the people who lived here and the history that happened here, it's so intriguing. And this is the house people want to know about. This is where they want to come. This is where they want to tour, and they want to know what's happening here. And so, not only residents but visitors too. This is the place that people want to see.
It's unbelievable. So we're talking couple hundred years almost this house has been standing, which is a real testament to this building. And I really want to delve into the history because I'm a history nerd. I love it. And the history here is incredible. So, you know, the house is bought by James Carrick. He's a 2-time widower. He is now married to Harriet, who herself was a widow. I'm just curious, what do you know about these people?
They were also, you know, a pretty prominent family, and they owned the Parks General Store downtown, and they were here for generations, all the way up to 1970s.
And I know that most of the houses here during the one-day battle, and more importantly, the subsequent year after the battle, the people that lived here, they didn't really get to live in their homes. They kind of got to live in their homes, but their homes were also, you know, inhabited by soldiers, officers, doctors, and I believe this house was where all the doctors slept, correct?
Yes.
And then up the street is where one of the field hospitals was. One of the things that really stuck out to me was when that family did return after the battle, because they had to leave. The house was pretty okay, but they said all their stuff had been like rifled through, probably looking for money or supplies. But what makes me really sad about it is Harriet supposedly was haunted for the rest of her life by what she saw. Like, she talked about returning and having to step over dead bodies. The river was running red with blood, which is such a wicked imagery. Like, you would never forget that.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
I didn't at first, but the longer I'm in this role and the more that we spend time in these homes, the more things happen that, you know, we can't explain.
Have you experienced anything in this house?
There have been, there's some like bureaus and wardrobes upstairs that just about every time I come here I have to close the drawers. The doors seem to open frequently, but the drawers seem to open, and every time I come I have to just close them back up. It's been a big job, but it's been fun. There's, you know, living history happening here, even though a lot of the buildings seem closed and sad, but when you walk into them they don't seem that way. They seem alive and ready for people to see them. And so that's been a major part of our job is to raise the money to get these places restored so people can come in and enjoy the history that we're also blessed to live in.
In your line of work, you really do get to bring a lot of people into the fold. And as a person that moved to town and then took on this role, have you met a lot of people that have had stories about the house, or do you find that people, you know, are coming to you with like, oh, have you heard this about such and such place?
Oh yes, there is generations worth of stories of a young girl in a white dress upstairs in the windows. You know, grandfathers, then their sons, and then now their sons are finding, they all have the same story driving by, and a young girl in a white dress is upstairs. Who she is, we're not really sure. It's not been as frequent recently with, you know, trying to save the home and its belongings with keeping the sun out. People aren't speaking of her as much, but generations talk about her. And that's, you know, that's one of the biggest, like most common stories that we have. There's a story of a doctor here who was here during the Civil War, and he just literally worked himself to death. You know, like letters between him and his wife, and she's begging him to come home. And he says, I cannot leave these men. And he died in the house from just being overworked. And we have recently had people seeing a doctor in this room here. And so that's been a frequent a more recent one that people have been talking about.
The room that the girl is most frequently seen in, is that the same room where the drawers and the wardrobe keep opening?
Yes. Yes, it's the sort of top right room of the house if you're looking at it. The drawers in that room, but then also she is seen coming coming, you know, if you're driving down the road, you can see her looking out the window.
My name is Harold Edwards. I'm native Paravillian. I've been here, I think, since I've been in the world. My family settled here in 1782, so we're several generations in this area. You know, we have a lot of paranormal activity here, and we saw an opportunity to share that with people, raise money for our Main Street program so that we can preserve houses like this and those historic buildings and other things. But we've had a lot of stuff captured, images in windows, sounds, orbs, all types of things happen on our ghost tours. The lady in the window, that's the most common. Is it Miss Laura? I don't know. But in the back of the house, there's a certain window that I could point out to you that several people have seen the lady standing in the window. And she doesn't seem to be particularly interested in anything. She's just standing there looking off into space. And she may appear for a second or two. She may be there for 5 minutes. But we don't know what that's about. We don't know if Miss Laura is looking for her family or missing her family or wanting us to know she's still here. I don't know.
One of the things that's most exciting about getting to visit Laura's grave is A, she was the last family member to actually live in the house. She spent her entire life in the house. Allegedly, she died and was born in the same bed, which is a story that I have never heard. And what's really beautiful is there's people still living in the town that knew her. I mean, she passed away in the 1970s. Harold, that we talked to, has really fond memories of being a teenager and getting to speak with her. And you don't get this opportunity that often. You don't usually get to visit a place where someone has lived their entire life in one house. And to be honest, a lot of the townspeople seem to really believe the woman they see in the window is Laura.
People talk about Perryville's Civil War history because that's what we're the best known for, but we were one of the early stations in Kentucky, and one of the early settlers here was a fellow by the name of James Harbison. And they had Harbison's Fort, and behind this house was a cave, and the cave was the center of the fort. So this house is sitting in the original place where the original Harbison's Fort was. Now, a fort at that time was probably 3 or 4 log houses enclosed with pen structure to be a harbinger from the Indians. James Harbison and his son-in-law and another man was out in the fields right across the river here plowing corn, and an Indian raiding party came in and killed him and his son-in-law. James's head was dismembered from his body, and they brought it back to his wife. She put it in a crock jar and preserved it, hoping someday to find the rest of his body. The head is buried in the cemetery on top of the hill.
Dr. Clore and Kevin collect a water sample from the cave located on the property. Since the cave is coated with limestone, a purported paranormal conductor, they want to analyze the water source for any anomalies.
Watch your head. So we're taking the sample just to see if there's any contaminants in the water that may make people think that they see something, might make them hallucinate, might make them think they're hearing noises and seeing ghosts. It's unlikely, but we have to investigate everything. So it's the first time I've been underground here in Kentucky. It's very interesting to see this limestone. Of course, from my perspective, it's not going to cause any supernatural phenomena, but it could definitely lend credence to people's ideas about it, given the fact that there's so many of these deposits and so many sightings. I can see how people might draw a parallel to it. The question is how many other places are there without this limestone? I did find an interesting piece of decayed metal down here. Who knows if it's 20 years old or 100 years old. There's probably a lot of stuff buried in the dirt related to the people who used to hide in this cave. So Kevin and I went down into this cave that's next to this house, which actually has history that dates back well before the Civil War events that happened to this town. We did take a water sample from this cave. A couple things about that sample were quite interesting because the cave itself didn't seem like it would be the cleanest source of water. But the water sample that we took visually looks like it's perfectly drinkable. So we're going to run some tests on this water to see if there's any possibility that there's contaminants in the water that might cause people perhaps to hallucinate or not feel well, that would lead them to have a sense of things being haunted.
Kevin and I conduct an EMF sweep in the room where witnesses have claimed to see a Civil War era doctor at work.
This room is creepy, dude.
Right?
It feels unsettling in here.
I get a headache since I walked in here.
Yeah, I was like walking by here and I was like, what the hell? It just feels weird, man. These are open too. Every single one of these have been open. Like every room I walked in, each of these like cabinets, like they're open.
Okay, so these don't.
These don't close.
No, these.
Yeah, these ones don't close. This place makes me feel really like my equilibrium's way off in here. Do you feel like that too?
This room definitely. Told him a while ago, that little door right there creeps me out. I'm just waiting for something to pop out of
creepy
it.
as hell.
Let's go see what's in it.
Malia and Dr. Clore look into the claims of cabinet doors opening by themselves in the house. He believes there's a practical explanation behind these claims.
Do you want to start in this room?
Sure.
All right. This is... That's pretty stuck.
Well, it's kind of leaning, so I could see if there was a
If it wasn't closed all the way.
bounce. Notice. I can make it bounce.
But she said that they're fully open and she has to close them every time she comes in, which is crazy.
Oh, it feels weird, dude.
This is an odd room.
There's someone here. Can you come up and touch this box right here? And let us know you're here. We're here with respect. My name is Brandon. This is Kevin.
Are you the person that opens the cabinets upstairs all the time?
If it does come open, it's going to swing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, none of the floors are even either.
Yeah, well, it's leaning forward. So.
Uh-huh.
Those are really heavy. They're more likely to go back in than
Go
come
out, yeah. And she said they'll like every time she comes in here, they're open. That's, I think, strange.
Well, that is strange. Someone's goofing with her, maybe. What's interesting is because this is tilting the other way.
Oh, you're right. It's tilting towards the wall.
The other one really hard to open. Yeah, no explanation for that. This one's easy to explain.
This cave, literally. How many feet do you think that is right there? It's not
Maybe
far.
15 yards.
15 yards right here. And pre-Civil War, which, I mean, we know how many people died here during the Battle of Perryville and then in the years after. But you had, this was like fort in the 1700s, right? Established.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of death, a lot of brutal killings here with the indigenous tribes that were in the area and the settlers. So it was like, this land's got blood on it. It's a blood-soaked land.
While we were driving out here to Perryville today, I found out that my great-great-great-grandfather was with the 85th Regiment out of Ohio, the infantry, and they were in Kentucky and in Perryville. So not only do I have a connection to this town and to that particular instance in the Civil War, but I do know that my great-great-great-grandfather lost his arm, and it's very possible that happened at the Battle of Perryville.
Supposedly, they kept all the soldiers here outside and had the officers like literally staying here.
Yeah, but I can't imagine in a conflict of that size that people weren't being carried into
Everywhere, yeah.
I mean, I can picture it in my head quite clearly.
Yeah.
Wounded people being carried into every sort of place. You wouldn't just say, okay, this one nice house, we're just gonna leave it for the officers.
True. That's true.
In fact, if you think about it, the most officers ever killed on the Confederate side, so they would be bringing them in here for sure.
I don't say this often, man. I gotta step out of this room. I feel sick. I don't feel good. Like I'm gonna step out.
It's weird the way this room does make you feel.
I do not feel well. Like I just feel like physically ill. Like it's really weird. I'm gonna step out real quick.
I'll hang out for a minute.
I'm just gonna set this there because why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? If there's anybody here from the Carrick or Parks family, could you please go up and touch the box? You don't have to be scared of it. You just have to go up and touch it, and that will let us know that you're here.
All right, so right now I'm going into the cave that Kevin and Dr. Clore were in earlier. Usually I don't do this kind of stuff. I also have GoPro with IR, and we're gonna be recording it firsthand. Let's go inside. All right, let's see. Heading inside. All right, I'm gonna set the ambisonic microphone right down here. I'm gonna set up the tri-field here. Never investigated a cave before. Is there anybody down here with me? With us?
This room's giving me a headache. Time to go. Try to come back again later and see if it feels any different.
There was a noticeable shift in Kevin's behavior at this point in the night, which was a prelude for more strange occurrences to come.
Is there anything that could lend itself scientifically to the idea of, like, well, for residual haunting, okay? Or something that could possibly trigger a residual haunting?
We could start with what is the premise or the rules. So if we say the premise is there is some sort of energy captured here. So let's not dive into the science of whether we've shown that, but let's say there's a premise of it. Then if you had other people coming in, then the question is what releases that energy? So it is possible. Oh, that was interesting.
That was interesting.
What releases that energy could depend upon.
Whoa.
Well, see, I'm talking about releasing the energy, and now
This is interesting.
Not a big signal, but it's saying it's blue.
It did a pressure and temperature.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it did pressure, temperature, and all of them. Yeah, the temperature went down, the pressure did too. Is there somebody trying to communicate with us right now?
It was happening when we were talking about the energy. Releasing it.
Yeah.
just as we said that, so that's interesting.
That's really interesting.
Because in your theory, so if it was there, something comes along, it could trigger it. That's possible, assuming the first premise is correct.
What?
While Mustafa explores the cave with the camera operator, their attention is drawn by a strange noise. In this moment, the tri-field detects a strange signal, then moves on its own.
Oh, that's all water there. You're right, dude. That's a reflection, right?
Yep.
In this enhanced footage, you can see an over 1 milligauss spike as soon as the meter moves on its own. Due to the cave's layout, it's unlikely that any wind would enter this area to knock the device down.
If there's somebody here right now, could you make that go off one more time, please? All three. I don't think I've ever seen it do all three. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this one of the Parks family members? Is this Laura Parks?
Is it just an energy entity
Yeah.
that likes us talking about energy?
Seriously. That is weird because it's when we were talking about energy.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm really curious if anybody else.
So is that recording?
It is recording.
Oh, good. So we can bring it back down. Brandon can take a look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and how after we got these hits initially, we were sitting here talking for a while or standing here talking for a while and it wasn't going off, and we went in there, we came back in, we tested this idea of this flow.
Yeah.
And then,
And many times it's done something. So,
oh, that's so interesting.
I can't say scientifically what it means, but I can say that it's interesting versus it doing nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, of course, I've been doing this with Brandon, I think, 14 years.
Wow.
But, a little time, then off, because I go off to do my other science things and then come back. Of course, I'm not a believer that it has to be a pressure change one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think there's, again, classifications of phenomena. So if there is something real, there's a classification where the pressure changes. And I bet you there's a whole other classification if there's something real where it doesn't.
Absolutely.
See,
Yeah.
he agrees with me.
Yeah, he agrees with you.
It's actually a science entity I brought from Alpha Centauri.
It's like your trick pony? Yeah.
To screw with you. If one's going to apply the scientific method to paranormal research, there's some very hard, fast rules you have to follow. One is you have to make sure that your instruments have been tested and then retested so that you know when you're getting a false signal. And even the best instruments that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions and millions of dollars, give false signals in science all the time. So we have calibrations, recalibrations, and we often test multiple instruments. This is rarely done in paranormal research, and it needs to be if you're going to rely upon the results. The same can be true for any other type of experiment that we're doing. So if you're detecting pressure changes or temperature changes, you have to test and see if just in an ordinary place, can you get those similar fluctuations based upon what you see in a place like this?
Mustafa and Dr. Clore head to the doctor's room in an attempt to detect any abnormal signals.
Interesting. Coming through that hallway, we got a major Z signal.
Yeah. When I first turned it on, we had high EMF, so I don't know if that's... No, that doesn't make sense. That was just turned on.
No, it's actually, there's some sort of magnetic effect that's oscillating here.
Really?
Now it's super high in this room. We'll see what happens when we go in the other room.
So that's weird?
Well, it's weird that it did that. I'm not sure if we can see it, but...
Brandon and Kevin, they both emerge from the doctor's room and they look like they're in a huge daze.
I'll say this often, man. I gotta step out of this room. I feel sick. I don't feel good. Like, I'm gonna step out.
It's weird the way this room does make you feel.
So we went into that room and Harry and I whip out the Firefox app, and if he gets Harry's seal of approval, he's got my seal of approval. And he starts testing the EMF frequencies with the magnometer on it.
So this is measuring the X, Y, and Z axis for the magnetic field line, sort of the fluctuation and the strength. And so we're seeing a difference in the Z. So one of the instruments we've been using in this investigation is not a normally used for paranormal research. I've been using my phone with an app that has a whole variety of ways of accessing the sensors in your iPhone. So in particular, we're using the Firefox app. And the reason we're doing that is this is not a paranormal app. This is an app actually that teachers and educators can use to run experiments. And the sensors in it are extremely sensitive. So it actually acts as a good secondary testing device. And in many ways can give better results than the instruments that we're carrying around specifically designed for measuring different things.
Could that possibly explain why, like Brandon and Kevin said that they felt like...
Oh yeah, it can affect, some people are very sensitive to fluctuations in electromagnetic waves. That's why I was running this to see.
Oh, so we got a spike in EMF in here when you walked in?
Yeah, well, this room seems to have a naturally high. You'll see, look, it's back again.
We're using an application called Firefox. It was developed by the University of Aachen.
This is an educational app for teachers and kids and families. So I highly recommend it as somebody who also promotes science and science literacy. And it is very sensitive. So Mustafa and I just came back from that room where you were feeling uneasy. So I decided to run a 3-axis magnometer, which is built into your iPhone because that's how you get good compass reading. And what was interesting is we got a consistent spot where if you change the location by a couple feet, you would get 40 microtesla shifts consistently. So I could stand in position A, it's 40 microteslas higher, and go over here, and now it's 40 lower, and back and forth. So because we could repeat it, it's not related to the position of the phone next to my body. It's not related to the cameras. There's definitely a change that's happening in that location. Now, I'm not sensitive to it apparently, but it is possible that you and other people in the house could be sensitive to it. Now, we haven't mapped out the rest of the house, so I will do that and walk around, check the other rooms, and see what we get.
I think we should do some solo runs just to cut down on contamination as much as possible. So you're cool going up there and just kind of taking the control camera and walking around and trying to get a dialogue started if possible?
Yeah.
You're cool with that? All right, so Malia will keep you here at the Nerve Center.
Okay.
And then Harry, myself, and Mustafa will kind of exit the building for a bit, let Kevin do his thing, and then once we're done with that, we'll go through and map the rest of the house. Kevin's mood continues to change during his solo sweep on the second floor.
All right, top of the stairs, room on the right. The one bed in it. Felt really uncomfortable up here a while ago. Have the EDI over here in the window.
As Malia monitors the Nerve Center's control cameras, she notices Kevin's strange behavior, which prompts her to ask him to pause his investigation.
Hey Kim, can I talk to you for a second? Just go into this other room really quick. It's gonna sound really weird, but I feel almost like a little concerned for you because I feel like your energy's a little bit different than it's been any other location we've ever been to. And I just wanted to like do it like a buddy check-in and see if you're okay.
Yeah, this place just, I don't know. Got a bit of a headache in here, like right behind my ears.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it's the place. I don't know if it's the microtesla difference that Dr. Laura's picking up in the other room because we haven't checked the rest of the house.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different feeling in here.
I haven't seen you like this ever, and it's kind of, I think honestly I'm getting wigged out because you're usually so kind of like together, and I feel like you're out of your element.
It's like I'll get a pain here and then I'll stop. I'll get a pain somewhere else and I'll stop. I feel dizzy, then I'll stop. So I don't know if something's like moving around or what exactly it is in this place.
Pressure changes right there. Right there on the, did you see that?
Again.
Right there, it's going off again. Look at.
Oh, the temperature went down.
Let's get up there.
Yeah.
Let's get up there. After Malia speaks with Kevin, Mustafa and I start to notice drastic pressure changes upstairs. We rush to the area to further test the environment. No one in here? Oh, it feels weird in here, man.
Yo.
4.8.
Dude,
6. Oh, it shot up, it's gone.
Dude, it shot up to like 23.
On tri-field, oh, pressure.
It shot
It's
up
going
to
on
like
right now,
23,
it's going down.
dude.
Hello,
It is not.
we don't mean.
Whoa, 22.7?
Do you feel that in here?
I got chills.
So right now, we just came in here. The tri-field meter shot up to a 23 milligauss, right?
23.
23 milligauss. We're having pressure changes on the EDI right when we were talking about Kevin, and it feels drastically different in here than it has. Like, I feel like, do you feel like you're talking underwater? You know, it's one thing to have this massive milligauss spike on the tri-field. It's one thing to have pressure changes in correlation with it, but it's another thing to feel the sensation that I was feeling at that moment. That doesn't translate on camera. It's something you can only try to explain, but unless you've felt that, unless you've been in that situation, you really won't understand it.
It's never been this
pressure
changes. It has never done this the whole night. There's no electricity in here.
It went up to 23.2.
If you're the one right there, pressure. I was about to say it.
What was that?
Did you hear that?
Oh, that's footsteps. Go.
Hello? Are you in this room?
This is a real deal. This is it. This is happening right now. This is a real deal, dude. What's the woman's name?
Laura.
Shit. Guys. We got that on camera here.
Yeah.
You feel everybody? Dude.
Come here. It felt like something otherworldly was taking place.
Right when we said Laura Park's name, we started getting pressure hits.
Laura, if that's you and you understand what we're saying, can you please make that device turn on again? The lights that were blinking, if that was you, can you do that one more time for us, please? We heard footsteps. The EMF was going off. Can you please do that one more time just so we know it's you? This is real right now. This is really happening right now. That is not a coincidence. Again, having those correlations between devices, having those sensations and those feelings of heaviness, those feelings of something else being in the room with you. Unless you felt that, unless you experienced it, it's definitely hard to try and explain to someone. Right
Laura,
there it is again.
Right there.
Pressure and temperature.
That's her. She's here. We understand you're here. Thank you.
Carrick Park's house, not to sound all horror movie about it, is a house of secrets. There's a trap door upstairs, and in 2011, someone lifts up the floor and they find a saber and bayonet from the Civil War there. Some aberrations here, but after I set it down, it stayed pretty high, consistent, and now it's going down.
And now this stopped.
And now it stopped. So while we were getting those pressure changes, these increases over here all correlated with the pressure changes that we were getting. And I haven't felt weird in here at all. But like when that was like right before all that started happening, I mean, you saw, dude, I was like straight goose pimples. So I don't know.
Several members of both our investigative team and our crew experience a variety of uneasiness and other symptoms.
I'll say this often, man. I gotta step out of this room. I feel sick. I don't feel good. Like I'm gonna step out.
It's weird the way this room does make you feel.
I do not feel well. Like I just feel like physically ill. Like it's really weird.
They didn't feel well. They felt blurry vision.
My eyes are freaking killing me. Like in a really bizarre freaking way. Like my left one started to feel like a lot of pressure, and it's just really weird because I feel like you know how in other places I've gotten the weird pains in like my hands and my legs and stuff. I haven't had any of that. I haven't had like dizziness or lightheadedness. Had a little bit of weird stuff upstairs, but I know that was just the floors. But I feel like everything is ocular for me here. Like I was having the weird thing where I feel like I can't. Like I can see, I can clearly see, but I feel like I can't trust what I'm seeing. So I feel very, like my eyes feel extremely fatigued. And to be honest, of most of our days, I don't feel that tired. Like I was actually very well rested today. And when I was sitting up here, just like manning nerve when you were up, like I literally had to like keep touching my eyes because my eyes hurt so bad.
I didn't feel such things, but I think the explanation for this is multifold. One, the house is particularly cold. It acts as a very strong heat sink so that it never seems to get warm in this house. The floors in this house, while seemingly solid in places, are very uneven. So from one step to the next, you're tilting one way or the other, and this could be affecting your ear, and that can give you a sense of unease. It can make your stomach upset. And then in one room, I detected a 40 microtesla change within 2 feet. Interesting. Coming through that hallway, we got a major Z signal.
So that's weird?
Well, it's weird that it did that. And I was very careful to repeat that experiment over and over again. We found it consistent. So it's possible that some of our members are more sensitive to changes in the magnetic field around them and helped in that uneasy feeling. So those three factors together, I think, could explain the symptoms.
It's whatever was in here left.
It was happening.
That was real.
It was happening.
That was real. And it was happening when we were out of the room.
We were downstairs. No one was on this floor. Pressure changes.
Yeah, we're seeing pressure changes. I'm not seeing anything over there.
Laura, was that you?
No, there's no graphs coming through here, but of course we're in the room now. Observer affecting the experiment, so to speak.
When it went off a while ago, no one was up here.
Yeah.
We had all been downstairs for a period of time.
So now if it starts spiking when it's sitting there, then we definitely are getting some sort of signal.
Our cameraman David starts to exhibit some of the symptoms both Kevin and I experienced in the doctor's room earlier that night.
I don't know if it was a long day, but exhaustion, and I was fine, but when I got in that room, just like my lower back just started killing me.
Like what exactly? Just like intense pain, like?
Yeah, like sharp pains, like, I don't know if it's like compression, or being in the cave for so long.
It wasn't until you got into that second room in there, or this room?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to fall asleep, straight up.
You felt drained?
Yeah, I was about to like face first for a second. Like my whole body just felt like all my muscles were just giving out.
What keeps my pursuit of the paranormal going and what keeps my passion alive is the fact that there is a chance that some of this phenomena is taking place. And when you think about the history of a place like Perryville, you think about all the men that lost their lives here. Trying to keep history alive, trying to find answers when it comes to supernatural phenomena is something that keeps my passion going.
It's been really interesting investigating with Dr. Clore because I think personally in my own head, I'm thinking about things more scientifically than maybe I did before. Like, I feel like I'm using words like theory more than I have in other investigations.
That passion that he has, that knowledge is something that really helps further our research and something that really puts our investigation in perspective. The Carrick Parks house has the perfect elements of a haunting that would excite any paranormal investigator. With its layers of history and purported claims, this unique location was not only an ideal structure for our first investigation into Perryville, but it proved to be an active hotspot as well, one that left us with several questions. Were the high levels of EMF Dr. Clore logged behind our team's strange behavioral shifts? Or do these experiences have anything to do with the sudden changes in the environment that we captured? The water sample collected by Dr. Clore in the cave was inconclusive and didn't support a natural explanation for the paranormal experiences on the property. We continue our search for answers into Perryville's haunted claims as we head to the site of one of America's bloodiest Civil War battles, one that changed the history of the city forever. The team separates to investigate two different properties associated with the battle and to test a new paranormal theory. Can ghostly activity manifest in separate locations simultaneously, or can we find a natural explanation both Perryville residents and visitors swear they've witnessed firsthand?
I heard about the farmhouse through Barry Gaunt, Kentucky Night Stalkers. I came here to speak on a UFO conference, not, being into paranormal on the spirit world. Next thing I know, they were shoving me, waking me up. I had passed out, and my back was really burning. And I didn't understand why it was burning, but they got me back down here. And when he looked, there were just 3 big giant scratches right down, just all the way down my back.
My other son saw that dark figure, a charred, dark figure, like a old-time look. Like overalls, a hat, but it was charred. My dad, him not telling my mom because he wanted to raise his family here. He wanted her to be here. I think there had to be something.
Yeah, something that he didn't want people to know.
Yeah, but he said that she would have never lived here. Why didn't he want me to know? Was that something that he just didn't want me to worry about? And I wish that we would have been able to have more time, and I think I could have got it out of him.
We saw spirit lights, dots of lights up in the corner of the room, and I would see purple and green. And everybody would see it. It wouldn't be just one person. This place has a story to tell.
So the farmhouse, guys, a location that every local paranormal investigator we've spoken to, I guess regionally in the state, really, has said that we have to check this place out. Crazy claims. There's kind of a overlap of different types of phenomena, from ghosts and hauntings to UFOs to cryptids. So kind of a different case for us this time around.
Yeah, judging from what people have been saying about the UFOlogy claims over there, it seems like there's a lot of overlap with the paranormal stuff we've documented in the past. And I think that's really cool. This is a different kind of animal than we've tackled before. but I think it's gonna be dope to see if we can document some similar phenomena, you know? I mean, light anomalies, we've captured some really crazy stuff on the EMCCD camera with that. And a lot of those things, you know, seem to pertain to the same type of phenomena that people encounter in their UFO experiences or things that they believe are extraterrestrial in nature.
So the farmhouse is shrouded in a lot of mystery, and it was particularly frustrating for me because I really wanted to find some like historical relevance to some of these claims. If I could try to find the root of who these people might be, who's the charred boy, all of those things. But in actuality, I couldn't find anything really interesting about the house in particular. This is actually not one of our oldest homes. It was built at the turn of the century, so it wasn't even standing during the Civil War, which is pretty unique to locations for us this season. But what is interesting about the actual property is the property the farmhouse sits on was a part originally of the Gaines plantation. And I do know, and I was able to find a lot of reference to lynchings that would have taken place on the land now, but to place on the land that is right next to the farmhouse nowadays, that I don't know. But it also, the property was where the Battle of Snow Pond happened. All right, Mary, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and telling us your relationship with the farmhouse.
My name's Mary Benton Markham, and I grew up here in this farmhouse. It was originally, we found out, built in 1898, and found that up on a wall, actually, with a charcoal pencil in the attic. Yeah. So it actually, the deed says 1901, but when you look it up. So my family came here in 1940s, early 1940s. And so, yeah, I always imagine what went on before, you know.
So your father, since 10, would have grown up in this house?
Yes.
And then he wanted to have his family in this house. So there's like deep familial ties here.
Oh, yeah.
At what point does it go from being this like very happy familial home to
what it is now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, my mom started in this house, as you know today, it's cold.
Yes.
And so it took a lot, there's a lot of square feet here.
It's a big place.
It's a big place. It goes up and down, you know. And so it was hard to keep warm. I can think of every Christmas I had here. I can see a Christmas tree right here in this other room behind you.
Really, over here?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Mom and Dad's chairs, you know, in the kitchen, just full of cans and like stuff we had grown from the garden.
Yeah.
You know, everything was basically grown from the farm. We didn't go to the store that much.
People that the claims here, though, I feel like go beyond like feeling. It's people have seen some borderline scary things people have claimed they've seen.
Right, and I have been in now as like growing up here. I can look back and I can't tell you of an experience of that.
Wow.
It was like after we tore all the walls out.
So from what you've heard, everything started, all the activity here started when you guys started remodeling and tearing out walls.
Right.
That's interesting.
But now if you ask my husband, we used to come home from wherever, he was in the military, so we would come home and my room was always there, upstairs. And he said, I always felt like somebody was watching us. And I'd be like, you're crazy, you know, because there's nobody watching us. So he always had that sense. But he doesn't like to talk about that stuff. But now my sons are both very sensitive.
Do you have any theories as to who may be haunting this place, if people are haunting this place?
I think it's something that happened from 1898 until 1940.
Something in that period of time?
Yes.
Okay.
And why do I say that? I'm gonna tell you that.
Please tell me, lay it on me.
So my dad was, my mom had passed, and my dad was 80, and not in great health, you know, because he'd lost the love of his life for 48 years. They'd been married.
Wow.
He married her young, 20. And he said, I could never tell your mom, you know, what happened in that house, or she would have never moved in there. I was like, well, what is it? And he would never tell me.
My name is David Trusty. I heard about the farmhouse through Barry Gaunt, Kentucky Night Stalkers. He was a MUFON investigator, and that's how come I got to meet him and know about this place and come here. I came here to speak on a UFO conference, not, you know, being into paranormal on the spirit world. And this is where it started at. It was here.
We had a gentleman with us that we had an event the next day, and it was going to be a paranormal UFO event. And Dave and myself were at the house. We had him come up there. He came up early to talk to us about the event and everything else, and we just said, hey, come on up and hunt with us. And it got to be really strange.
When I first came in here, I walked to the piano first, and something touched my hand. I thought they'd set me up, but you know, they didn't. I learned later. But we went up to the attic, and I got to the far end. There's a window at the far end, and something grabbed me by the hand.
So we take him upstairs. We're upstairs, and there's been rumors of an Indian chief, all different kinds of stuff up there. I've personally seen the Indian chief up there. But we're up there having a conversation, and he's sitting on the floor with us, off to the side of us. And we start having some activity. It's pretty heavy activity, and we're seeing light orbs with our eyes, the whole 9 yards. And then as it's being filmed, they say, hey, there's somebody over there, and it just shot right behind you, right over to this other individual.
I felt uncomfortable sitting there, so I got down and I sat on Indian style on the ground by it, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I heard a noise, and I looked off to my right down these stairs that's going up, and I don't really remember it, but I just, next thing I know, they were shoving me, waking me up. I had passed out.
And all of a sudden we hear kaboom. And look over, and here this guy passes out. Something jumped on him. Took him right then.
And my back was really burning, and I didn't understand why it was burning, but they got me back down here, and they wanted to look.
This poor guy got brutally beaten by that spirit. The next morning when we woke up, he had bruises all over him, scratch marks, everything. He was really beat up.
And when he looked, there were just 3 big giant scratches right down, just all the way down my back.
It was very traumatizing for him because he's been through other traumas. He's a UFO abductee. And being through all those traumas, he did not like being in that house at that time.
I had no idea what it was, what happened to me. Incomprehensible to me. But I realized what happened before, you know, well, it's not incomprehensible because this happened. Barry asked the spirit, you know, why did you scratch David? And the first, I mean, just as plain as we're sitting here talking to each other, it said aliens.
That one was a shocker to us all because I've never seen, in the years I've been doing paranormal investigations, I've never seen anybody beat like that from a spirit. Yeah, and there was no way that there was 3 of us in the house, and they just picked him, and they really ran him over hard.
Aliens, that's more than one. He said 2. I mean, just as plain as we're sitting here speaking. So maybe I got attacked because they don't get along. I don't know. But that was one of the weirdest feelings I ever had in my life. I don't know if they're hung up interdimensionally, what. I mean, it's just something, they're tied together, I know, but I just don't know how. Because you see lights outside sometimes, and you also see lights in here, and they're almost identical. They're like a bluish white light. So, you know, if it's spirits, maybe spirits are aliens, we don't know.
Known as Debbie Mitchell Warren, I came with a paranormal team years ago here, and we had some interesting experiences. I was drawn here. That's the thing. I was drawn to this location. I'm not sure why. We actually were up on the 2nd floor, and we're all sitting there, and we saw this big white flash of light, all of us, and the room just went right through us. I mean, everybody visually saw it. We saw spirit lights, dots of lights up in the corner of the room, and I would see purple and green. And everybody would see it. It wouldn't be just one person. There is something here that I call it a shapeshifter. I'm not saying there's not, you know, people say you got a demon there. It's not a demon. But this thing, I think, is old. I think it came here from the tragedies that's happened here, and it's just gotten stronger and stronger. I actually saw this being. It was 7 foot. This is no lie. It was huge. Then it looked alien.
No matter where we went in this area of Kentucky, all of the local investigators we've spoken to have mentioned that we have to go to the farmhouse. And this place is known to have a lot of activity, not only haunting and ghostly activity, but other types of paranormal phenomena as well. One thing that's always been kind of debated between the paranormal field and the paranormal community is that you have these different factions and different genres or subgenres, if you will. It's almost like music, where you have the ghosts and hauntings people, you have the ufology, you have the cryptids, and I guess everything in between. But I think that those types of phenomena may be closer related than people realize.
So the Benton farmhouse is like a weird hodgepodge of different activity. It's probably the first time I have heard about a connection between a possible UFO abduction and paranormal almost possession combined. I have heard of people being influenced by entities in locations, but this is the first time I've come across something like this. And I know a lot of paranormal purists, right? Friends who will say it's like, ah, man, it's like UFO stuff, that's all like bullshit. And I'll be like, dude, you study fucking ghosts for a living. Like, I mean, if one thing's true, then why can't the other thing be true? And I do think that there definitely is a possible connection between supernatural or extraterrestrial, whatever you want to call it, phenomenon, and the weird stuff that we've been documenting.
So with this farmhouse, I know that we heard some pretty intense stories earlier from Debbie as well as David, and I know that there were some warnings given out to us about that. And during that whole interview process, I did feel something touch my back. At one point, I know David, our director of photography, did as well. So I know that we should probably be mindful of some of the things that have happened here.
Absolutely. And I can just say as a personal note, like, sorry guys, but I am not being in this house by myself. It is just, I don't feel, especially with what Debbie said, I feel like a lot of stuff is targeted towards women, and I just don't want to put myself in that position. I don't feel comfortable. It makes me feel unsafe, and especially like the level of like the fear in her eyes when she was talking about some of the stuff that people have experienced here. Like, I don't necessarily need that experience.
Yeah, she definitely believed it.
Yeah.
Mustafa and Malia head up to the attic to see if they can document any of the activity David and Debbie experienced.
All right, so based on what David said earlier, there's 2 places in this house he doesn't like to go. One's the attic, the other one's the basement. Mary said that she believes that they had actually caught a picture of her father in the basement here. So we're gonna go down and check it out. I've yet to be in, really, or investigate this basement, so it's gonna be a first.
Apparently when we weren't, like, you know, when crew was getting B-roll and stuff,
Yeah.
Jeb was really freaked out.
I thought Emily was freaked out.
Oh, Emily, you were freaked out, right? Yeah, because the bunny moved, right? They say like a lot of stuff gets moved in this house. The contractor who was here working on it himself, he's the one who discovered the doctor's manual and the bonnet in the wall. And he said that his tools, like his hammer, would get moved, and he'd be like, what the hell?
I do not like it up here.
You don't?
No.
Really?
No. Like, I am so physically unfucking comfortable in this space. I hate it.
Really?
I hate it.
I'm gonna set the H6 on this little cinder block back here towards the back. Okay, so it seems like down here right now we're basing at about a 0.2 to about a 0.4. 0.5 you start getting up towards the wire, so it's not a super heavy EMF down here like we've seen in some of the other places that we've been.
This place is like kind of creepy. I was definitely really, really scared at the beginning of the investigation. I had like a bad feeling, but I don't know, up here I don't really feel super spooked out.
All right, now let's start on this Amazonic. This is Mustafa and Malia in the attic at the farmhouse.
I can honestly say I've never been in a house that has an attic like this. Like, I feel like I'm in, like, this is a proper horror movie attic. It has like the staircase that leads up to it, not like the drop down ladder. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I'm so dizzy in this house.
All right, well, this is interesting at least because I could see the motion detector reflecting off of the
window.
It's not being set off by our motion at all.
No. So a lot of times I know people will say like, oh, a reflection off of a mirror or like a window
Yeah,
will cause
it
a motion
won't.
detector to go off. It doesn't.
Good evening. My name's Kevin. Just wanted to come down here and see if I can talk to you a little bit tonight. I have a device in my hand that you can talk to me with. If I ask a question and you want to answer yes to it, you can just come up and touch this device that I'm holding.
So you wouldn't be in here alone?
Oh my God, be very careful. Look at all these nails. Literally just protruding out. So just watch your head here.
Do you imagine like a white ghost just like throws me up into it?
That's
like,
a horrible visual.
Hello, my name's Mustafa.
My name's Malia.
We're also here with our friends Emily and Kyle. You might notice they're holding some audio equipment and video equipment. And we came here to document some of the things that people who visit this farmhouse say occur here. We were speaking with Debbie earlier and David, along with Mary Benton Markham. She told us how she loved growing up over here. Mary told us about her father, her grandfather.
Can you see me? About a 0.6 there for a second. So there's been reports of someone in this basement that they refer to as a charred person. Can you tell me what happened to this person? Was there a fire?
There's a secret associated with this place that she wanted to get to the bottom of. She said that her father kept something from her mom that went down here. It sounded like it was something bad. And we just want to know if there's anybody here who could speak to that with us or is willing to speak to us about that. This doesn't feel spooky to me at all, honestly.
Whatever I felt when I first came up here, I don't feel nearly as wigged out by anymore.
What was that? You want to radio down and that's what that was?
Did anybody just make like a thud sound, like a double thud?
No, I just walked around a bit, but I wasn't bumping into anything or anything like that, no.
Okay, interesting, thank you.
I'm not really getting any hits or anything like that. I don't feel anything down here.
Malia and Mustafa check in at the nerve center.
Somebody on the stairwell?
No, why?
I saw something move on that fucking stairwell, dude.
What?
Just now?
Yeah.
Where?
What'd you see?
This?
No, dude. I saw something move up here.
What?
I literally saw something just cross right over here.
That's weird. The movement witnessed by Mustafa was logged on the control camera. We're going to leave the farmhouse and we're going to do what we call a control session, where we just leave all of our control devices running at once and just let the environment be. And that's something we try and do as often as we can. But I think for this place specifically, because we're not getting any kind of interaction so far, we're going to see what the house does by itself. We're going to come back with Debbie, who is someone that's had a lot of experiences here. Earlier in her interview, the environment in this place completely changed. So we're gonna do a session after that with Malia and Debbie and kind of switch it up between teams and then see if the activity changes at all. We wanted to test if introducing a purported UFO experiencer into the investigation would have an effect on the farmhouse's environment. If these claims are true, could the hauntings here be linked to extraterrestrial phenomena?
All right, Debbie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If anything weird's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
What is that? Do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it. It's like a high pitch.
It freaking hurts my ears.
Are you okay? Yeah. What? Just back off of her.
What's going on?
It's energy. It's.
Do you think it's you? I'm gonna see if the mics could do that. Like, I wonder if our. Wait, is it this?
It sounds like it. That. How about that? Look at that. Is that it?
I don't know. No, it's.
I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
You don't hear that?
You're not hearing it. You hear it.
It's getting louder.
Do you know if mic packs or any of our equipment could create a really, really horrible ringing in the ears? Because Emily and I are both like being deafed out by this, and Debbie can't hear it.
No, not that I'm aware of. No, that can't happen.
Well, if it's something paranormal, back out of their ears. I mean, leave them.
Yeah, this is like really, really loud. It's coming from like the equipment. It almost sounds like.
Maybe it might be messing with it, because they will turn things here. They will turn things.
Wait, it stopped.
Wait.
It stopped.
If there's something in here that's causing our ears to ring, could you please stop? Because it's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're just here to communicate.
It just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stopped.
We're not here to bother nothing, or we're just here to talk.
So that was strange. So we just got a bunch of ringing in our ears. Debbie can kind of hear.
I got the flutter. It's like my ear was vibrating, but I didn't hear a noise. It's just going like that. Why, I don't know.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
All of the crew left except for Emily, myself, and Debbie were the only people in the house, 3 females in the house. We get some ringing in the ears. So that's interesting. So here's what I would love to do. I know you know this place very well, and I really love that for you, this place is about positivity and it's showcasing the light in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mary spoke so lovingly about this place.
She loves it.
It's a loving family home for her, and it's interesting how many different experiences people do have.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would love from you is, would you mind just giving me like a little bit of a tour? We can go to the 2nd floor and you can kind of show me some of your spots, and maybe if you know some things about the rooms. I have a couple questions about kind of the layouts. Maybe you might know better than me. So if you want to head upstairs with me, and we can kind of explore.
The stairway does have a lot of activity all the time. Like if you're down here, a lot of people see a man stand here. So this is where he likes, right here.
Interesting.
And he watches a lot. He's always right here.
Do you have any idea who you think it might be?
They see, the thing is, they say he's like a charred man or a man with a hat. He changes, he looks different to different people. The man with the hat is a common thing right here.
Okay.
But who he is, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually seen him myself. This is actually too where I had my experience with my pacemaker.
Are you okay being in here? Would you like to leave this
I'm
room?
fine.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of anything that's here. We're here for you all to talk to us, and if you all want to talk to us, we're here. We're not here to be mean or nothing like that.
Absolutely not.
And this is time for you all to talk. The thing is, though, whatever's here knows everybody's weaknesses and knows about the people before they even come.
That's interesting.
That's really interesting.
So I know you said you have mediumship abilities. Is that something in your experience that is common to entities in other locations, or do you think that's pretty unique to this location?
This is very unique. This place is probably the most intelligent place I've ever been. Some people, they have the light. The spirits are directed to that person because you have a certain light to you that the spirits can actually be drawn to and see.
Wow.
So you are like a magnet to them.
Yeah.
So that's why some people always have spirits around them or can bring them in more.
As Debbie and Malia speak about the activity in the house, significant environmental changes occur right above them.
Would you like to go to the attic?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But we've had people actually seen. That's where the Indian male, and I'll show you where he was seen at.
Yes, please.
The barometric pressure continues to rapidly change as Malia and Debbie make their way to the attic. This area is where the most violent activity is said to take place on multiple occasions.
The people kept seeing things like back in here.
Okay.
And that's where the Indian male with the headdress has been seen, right back in that corner.
Really? I'm just going to set the paralight up over here just to see, out of curiosity. And also just so you know, so we have our EDI Plus here, and we also have our microphone. It records 360. Oh, we just got a pressure and temperature hit.
See, it might be him. Maybe I'm...
Well, so I didn't want to lead with it just because I wanted to see where our conversation organically went. But what's interesting, I'm talking about interdimensional travel. Time isn't linear.
And they're not here that long, so they come and go kind of, and aliens are the same way, UFOs are the same way. I mean, I've seen a lot of, and witnessed a lot of weird stuff. So it's like, how is this going on? And I would like people that can do the testing. Hey, how's this happening?
Yeah.
You know, where's this stuff coming from?
Well, we're trying.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad
tr-
I met you, because I think this was meant to happen.
I think so too, Kismet, right?
Yeah.
Like, we are here for a reason. Everybody kept putting us in this direction, and I'm really excited that we're here.
We sent Kevin to the attic to see if he can correlate any of the pressure hits experienced when Debbie was introduced into the environment.
So this is the area where Debbie said that she thinks that there's often a shapeshifter up here, as well as something she would identify as a Native American male in a headdress that's often seen over here in this corner. Kind of an awkward question, but can you tell me what dimension you are currently in? I know there are reports of beings being in this house that are of an extraterrestrial race. Pressure change. So you just made a yellow light come on the front of that. If you were of an extraterrestrial race, will you please touch that device?
I got shivers.
If you are of an alien or extraterrestrial descent, what type are you? Are you a gray? Dude, pressure and temperature, same time. So just to confirm, you're an alien gray? Dude, twice. It's twice it answered that. Whoa. Pressure and temperature again. Are you, so you're back here with us again? Can you make these lights flash one time for every one of you that are in here? So in other words, if there are 3 of you, 1, 2. So there are 2 of you in here right now? Dude. Okay, so are you standing back in this corner?
After the responses Kevin received with the EDI Plus, we decided to introduce David into the investigation. His experience as a UFO experiencer and his attack in the attic of the farmhouse may further heighten the activity during our observation.
Why do you think she comes out and talks to you? She gets, like, do you feel like you're comforting her?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And she's giving me energy.
Really?
Yeah.
When's the last time you came into contact with her?
I felt her last night, her presence, but I didn't see her.
Okay.
But time before last I was here was when we had all the activity in Barry Gount. All of us here, Night Stalkers, was here.
This poor guy got brutally beaten by that spirit. The next morning when he woke up, he had bruises all over him, scratch marks, everything. He was really beat up.
When you say like energized, like, is it like an electrical feeling? Because that's something I've heard before.
Yeah. You get hyped up like you're really, I don't know if I don't want to say drugs, not like that, but you're just so energetic, got just like you're on steroids or something, you know what I'm talking about.
There we go, pressure.
Come on.
It was very traumatizing for him because he's been through other traumas. He's a UFO abductee. And being through all those traumas, he did not like being in that house at that time.
I find it interesting that we started getting spikes when we started talking about that good feeling you got, you know, that feeling that energized, you know. So we talk about you getting energized, and that feeling. It almost like feels like your body's mentholated, right?
So you're gonna be back here. See, there's the 3rd step. That's where you got it. I know you're down here.
I'm gonna set this down over here. And you said over here is where you had an experience?
Yeah, right here. The experience I had down here, she wanted a little doll. We was upstairs where we was at. And she kept telling me she wanted her little dolly, and it was down in the basement on the 3rd step floor. And I did not know this was here. And she led me all the way here.
Really?
And then we left out, and as soon as we started leaving back out, is when everything got real hectic.
That one was a shocker to us all because I've never seen, in the years I've been doing paranormal investigations, I've never seen anybody be like that from a spirit. Yeah, and there was no way that there was 3 of us in the house, and they just picked him, and they really ran him over hard.
Everybody's batteries died on everything we had.
No way.
And choking feelings people got was here, and she called him the bad man. So, you know, I don't know who the bad man is. I don't think none of us do, unless it's the shadow guy that's here. We don't really know.
Really?
But this is where it was at.
When Kevin was upstairs, when he was doing his investigation, along with our director of photography, David, over here, also David.
Yeah.
2 Davids.
Yep.
They seem to have correlations with talking about extraterrestrials,
Yeah.
specifically gray aliens.
So just to confirm, you're an alien gray? Dude, twice. It's twice to answer that.
Yeah, that's my, well, I hate those things, but
Yeah.
I believe this place has got something to do with them.
Okay.
It's some kind of an energy source. I believe they follow it. I'm not sure if it's a ground or it may be us that times put off different energies. So, you know, I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's just like, why would they choose this person and not that person next door to you?
Sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah, behind us, coming down the steps again. That's what he did the last time.
I'm gonna turn the walkie on. You might see that motion detector light go off. It's because of the walkie, okay?
Right.
Just letting you know. Hey, Brandon, is there anybody else in the house over?
There's not anyone in the house.
Pressure.
We got it.
Got it, thank you.
Yeah, motion lights.
Well, that's probably from the
Could be.
walkie. But the pressure going off, and I'm gonna test that motion because
There we
it
go.
didn't set it off. Pressure again, thank you.
Thank you for that. Now, who is it? Oh man, I'm getting chills. I know what it is.
So who is it that we're talking to down here? Was it the mention of the gray aliens? Are we talking to a being that's not human right now? Like David and myself? If so, could you interact with that device there? Set those lights off?
Is the aliens here again?
Or is who set this off the bad man that we were referring to earlier? The people call the bad man. Let's pick up on our conversation we were talking about. You said the gray aliens. Why?
Yeah.
What was that situation like? I know you said you don't like them. What's the deal?
It's what they do to you.
Yeah.
You're helpless.
Really?
You can't do anything, and you see them doing things to other people, and you can't help.
Really?
And they put you through so much pain. And I'm sure they did. Probably the spirits of people that cheered. You know, this probably something's went on since man's been here on this earth.
So you think the entities that are trying to communicate with people may have experienced stuff like that?
Yes.
The thing that I was thinking about, right, is something Mary was talking to us about was her father.
Yes.
Said that there was something that went down here that if he told his, wife about, she wouldn't have wanted to move in here.
Yeah.
He said, I could never tell your mom, what happened in that house, or she would have never moved in there. I was like, well, what is it? And he would never tell me.
I know this sounds very outlandish, but here we are in the dark, trying to talk to invisible people who passed away, you know, decades or centuries ago. Do you think possibly it might have to do with, like you just suggested, a history of abductions or like experiments that were being conducted, tested on and abducted by extraterrestrials?
Absolutely. Because if you look in Indian cultures, even out west, look at the cave drawings. They even drew flying saucers.
Really?
They even drew alien heads, great alien bases. They drew what they saw. And then, you know, when they hunted, they drew their animals they killed. They drew everything. And it's documented petroglyphs all around the world. And I think something like that may have happened here.
David begins to sense that something is calling them up to the attic. This is the same area where he was brutally attacked the last time he was here.
Do you think they're asking one of us to go up there right now?
I think they're wanting us to come up.
Listen, you don't have to go up. I can go up and you can stay at the stairwell and you can just talk. Is that okay? And Dubian can come up. I don't expect you to go up. That's fine.
I need to face my fears, I guess.
You'll go up?
I'll go up.
Yeah, I'm going up first, okay?
That's fine.
Dubes, you stay right behind us, okay? You backtrack out of there, Dubes, if anything gets weird, all right?
Sure
I'm coming
will.
up. All right, watch your head, okay?
Yeah. Lord, I said I'd never come back up here. Come on.
I'm not asking.
I've got a heavy feeling.
Heavy feeling?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hopefully that heavy feeling is just from what you were experiencing last time. That's all I hope it is right now, okay? And if that's the case, that's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Whoever was up here and calling my friend David up here, we're here now.
We're here. Please come out. It don't hurt anyone. We're not here to hurt you. Please.
All right, it's probably nothing, but my right leg is like burning up right now.
Well, that's not good because it's what you felt. What I felt like when I came to was burning
Really?
up here.
My right leg is very hot. Like.
Are you up here? Are you doing him that way? Mustafa that way?
So strange.
Because I know you're here. I can feel your presence here. Please come on out. You're here, I know.
What is that?
There. Same
Sure, man.
place.
It's like burning up, dude.
My whole body was like that on fire. And like I said, they were like, it wasn't human scratch marks. You can tell way he's got it on the video when you guys get to see it.
Yeah.
It was just 3 like claw marks that went from my left shoulder all the way down into here.
It kind of feels like a jellyfish thing. It is
Yeah.
gnarly, dude. I don't know. I'm not seeing any marks or anything.
Not
but it
yet,
is
anyway.
hot.
I'm just hoping I didn't like bust my kneecap or something, but it feels
Not
fine.
yet, anyway.
That's strange, man.
And from all accounts, Farmhouse is that perfect melting pot of weird shit that's going on that I think we are giving ourselves the best opportunity of documenting it.
I don't think I've ever encountered a location that has so many different layers of different types of paranormal phenomena.
Now, almost 20 cases in, which is crazy to even think about, I have more apprehension than I did in the beginning. I think it's kind of like I was naive before, you know, a little bit starry-eyed, and it's like, oh, it'll be fun and it'll be all happy and cheery. But when you're dealing with locations like we have, especially this season, that have true sadness and tragedy tied to them, some of the things that I've experienced and the true sense of unease and at times, like, not safe.
The farmhouse is a location shrouded in both historical and paranormal history. It's also the first case we've studied where UFO experiencers had a connection to the said haunted location. Our experiment of introducing Debbie and David into the environment provided intriguing results. The biggest question we are left with, however, is did Mary's father's secret that he took to the grave have anything to do with the property being a UFO hotspot?
There are lots of stories about people who lost their lives in the Battle of Augusta that took place all over town. It wasn't just like a little skirmish.
The 1811 jail, it is the oldest jail on its original foundation in Kentucky. They said, Michael, prove to us that you are here, and the light turned on itself.
Now, there's a lot of bones here in town. I know that a guy put in a garage, a lot dug up, and I think it was a mass grave because one body would lay here and its legs would turn back, and another one's head would be in between the legs and they would go the other way.
This river would have been the difference of your entire life. We are going to be somewhere where we know the 10,000 ancient Native American burials. This is kind of incredible getting to enter Augusta this way.
Right? So what can you tell us about the history of this?
Well, so basically right now we are right on the Mason-Dixon line and we are crossing the Ohio River, which if this was, you know, any time before the Civil War, this was the difference between freedom, if you were black, and slavery. So where we are and where Augusta is, was like the last point of entry. So we're going to the 1811 jail, which has deep, deep ties to the Underground Railroad and where essentially all the bounty hunters would imprison the runaway slaves. So if you want to put yourself in the shoes of somebody back in the day, an enslaved individual, like this river would have been the difference of your entire life.
Chris? Brandon.
Brandon,
nice to meet you.
Brandon.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, well, thank you. Mustafa, thanks for having me up here, guys.
Yeah, no, we've heard a lot about Augusta within itself, and being here at this point is just beautiful. I mean, what an amazing town, huh?
Yeah, and that's my understanding that you have some ghost stories about this town that you can share with us.
Well, there are lots of haunted places around here, of course. What is a haunting when you think about it? Is it something that's just in your mind? Is it an apparition, or is it a voice that haunts you? There are lots of stories about people who lost their lives in the Battle of Augusta that took place all over town. It wasn't just like a little skirmish. Once the Union gunboats, there were 3 of them, decided that they couldn't withstand the Confederate cannon that were up on this ridge, because they were wooden, they would have been blasted apart.
Well, the Confederates were up here, they had the high
Confederates were
ground?
up here, they had the high ground. They came from the south, set up here, and then they were overlooking the city, and so it was a firefight. Cannons from the riverboats, from the flatboats, and then a Confederate cannon going down at them. Once those Union gunboats took off, because they had to, then the Confederates, had the town.
It's kind of emotional because we're headed to the place where if they were caught trying to get freaking freedom, they would be imprisoned. And it's in the freaking center of the original settlement of Augusta, which I think is really cool. So we're quite literally going into the center of history for Augusta.
I mean, if you look at it, 1811, you have a little boat. Look how wavy this is now.
I know.
And how cold it is out.
It would not have been
if
an
you even
easy
made it
thing.
across.
No, exactly. That's the thing that I am just so, like we are rocking.
As far as they were concerned, this was just a shooting gallery.
No.
And they started blasting away, and that was it. That's a serious violation of the rules. And I mean, they just all hell broke loose. The Confederates actually brought cannon up and blasted into people's homes. They were shooting at them from their bedrooms and living rooms. There are descriptions of the sounds of people screaming as their homes burnt around them. There were, several people killed. Among them were a lot of Confederate soldiers, 8 of whom are buried in the General Payne Cemetery.
So this cemetery is significant, not just in the sense that, you had Confederates line up over here, and they had a very strong vantage point in the Battle of Augusta. But there are a lot of really notable Kentuckians who are buried here who played a really big part in the abolitionist movement. Is that true?
Well, related to the abolitionist movement.
It's just heartbreaking to think about how important this was. And then you have, on top of all of that, you have the ancient burials.
Right.
So I know you know a little about the ancient burials too, but what I'm really amazed by, the idea that we are going to be somewhere where we know that there's at least 10,000 ancient Native American burials.
And we know this because they've been found while people are digging out basements and cellars for their house. They're finding skulls in their yard.
Everywhere. Like, they literally say that you cannot do construction anywhere in Augusta and not hit bones. I don't think we've ever been to a place like that. I know I've never been to a place like that.
This is drenched in Civil War history.
So like a town like Augusta with so much blood spilled here, so much carnage that happened in the Battle of Augusta, there's got to be stories about hauntings and ghosts, right?
Yeah, there are. They died all over the place. That's the thing. They died everywhere. There were homes that were turned into hospitals because the homes that were burned, they couldn't use those. So everyone in town came and took care of the sick and the wounded and the dead.
Another thing that's really interesting with this place is it's not just native burials. They've actually excavated a site where they found, in a circular pattern, people buried head to head to form a circle, and they claimed that they were 11-foot skeletons. There's everything here that we could hope for, and I do think we're going to get a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Augusta.
Welcome to Augusta.
Chris, thank you for your time. It's been great.
you.
We appreciate it, and we'll keep you posted
Well,
about
thanks,
what we
guys.
find.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm Janet Hunt, and I'm the tourism director. So that's how I'm involved with this jail.
Do you just love it? Or am I weird in it? Because I really love historic jails, so I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I've been doing this for 4 years. So
Okay.
it seemed like every time I come over here, I see something different, or I see another date that's on the wall that I missed before, because there's a lot of carvings in the wall.
I mean, you can tell the place has been unchanged essentially since 1811. We're in the
Right.
1811 Old Pioneer Jail.
Right.
So can we just jump into the history of this jail?
It's been here since 1811, and it has the slavery, the Underground Railroad history to it. It has also the Battle of Augusta of 1862 history in it.
Augusta is here on the Ohio River.
Right.
And from the research that I did on the jail and the stuff that you guys very nicely sent me, it does seem like this jail is very tied to what it was like here back then. You
Yes.
do have a lot of runaway slaves that were imprisoned here. You have people that were aiding them that were imprisoned here.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't aware, the river was kind of freedom.
So there is a story back in the 1800s. We speak of the Underground Railroad situation. So there was a lady that one of the shareholders' farms had bought her because he was in love with her. So they went across the river to live. When she wanted to come back because her kids were here, captured here. And so she got her kids out, but they ended up capturing her, and they killed her.
Oh my God.
So, and that was back in slavery times.
Did they kill her because they thought she was a runaway?
Yeah.
That's so heartbreaking.
I always said if the walls could talk, because it could probably really make you cry.
My name's Rick Jones. I moved here in the 1811 jail in 1966. I was 12 years old. The mayor of the town told my dad, he said, why don't you become a jailer? He said, the people are moving out and said, we need a jailer. And Dad said, that's fine. Go home and tell your mother to pack, we're moving. Next day we moved. I slept on the north side of this room, and my little brother and sister slept right here where we're at now. If you go down into the jail, one side's got a log pen in it, but that was women and juvenile. We kept in that side, and we kept men over on the side where all the bars are. Now, there's a lot of bones here in town. I know that a guy put in a garage, a lot dug up. And I think it was a mass grave because one body would lay here and its legs would turn back, and another one's head would be in between the legs, and they would go the other way. The house next door to where I lived, before I moved here, there was 18 of them in a circle, all head to head with their feet out when they dug that basement. There was one in a cave. UK did a study on it. It was 11 foot tall. But the guy got scared and he figured people would want to come in. So after they excavated the bones, they sealed the cave. The whole town, there's probably 10,000 bodies underneath of this town. You can't dig anywhere in your yard without digging on somebody.
Hi, my name is Leah Frederick, and I used to be Miss Lily of Gilded Lily Tours that would give historic walking tours here in Augusta, Kentucky. I did have an incident here in the 1811 jail. Now, it is the oldest jail on its original foundation in Kentucky. We had a lot of paranormal groups that would come to the 1811 jail. On Halloween, several years ago, I had a small group of 6 people, and we were taking around doing the regular kind of haunted tour, and it was a lot of fun, and these were all adults. And we came to the jail. Now, I had done a great deal of research about the 1811 jail, and as I mentioned, a lot of paranormal society groups had come in here and done work, and I watched on YouTube the story of them making contact with a spirit that still resided here in the jail. He had been a runaway slave. I called him Michael because that's just the name that struck me. And so I would come into the jail during my tours, whether it was in Halloween or any other time, and say, "Hi, Michael," and I always greeted him. Well, that Halloween, I brought the group in and I was telling the story of this paranormal society making contact. And the contact that they videotaped is they had put a camera in the middle of the room downstairs, the one that would hold the slaves, the runaway slaves. And they said, "Michael, prove to us that you are here." And the light turned on itself. And so I'm telling this story to these visitors here on this tour. And at the end, when I said, and so that's why I always say, "Hello, Michael," the woman next to me had her phone in her hand. It was off, it was down. And when I said, that's why I said hello to Michael, the phone started taking pictures. The flash kept going off crazily. It took probably half a dozen to a dozen different pictures. And we were all astonished by it. We're like, what's going on? And then when she pulled up the camera and looked at the photos, there was a nice little white kind of ghostly, it was very grainy kind of image there. And at that point in time, I said, "Tour's over, time to leave."
Here in the town of Augusta, there has been a lot of indigenous graves uncovered over the years. We even found an article going back to the 1800s that talked about one particular home when putting up the foundation found 20 different skeletons. That man who was building that home was in correspondence with an Indian chief that was across the river in Ohio, and he asked about there being indigenous people in this area. And it was believed at that time that there were not tribes located here. But when he reached out and wrote a letter to this Indian chief, he received a letter back saying that this was the area of the ancient ones. Okay, you ready? All right, man. 1811 jail. This is it. So, I mean, first and foremost, we obviously know that this entire area in Augusta, newspaper articles dating back to the mid-1800s talk about this area being a mass burial and grave site.
So this is what you have to think about too, because normally when you investigate jails, you expect to come into contact with a former inmate or something like that. This place sits on Civil War history. It sits on ancient burial grounds. I mean, it's hard telling what we're going to come up with in this investigation.
I could say we kind of go through, see what we can find. One thing we do have to kind of let everyone know is that we are very open to the elements in this place. The windows are just bars, you can see here if you look out. And so we are literally open to the elements. And this place is situated in a park. So it's cold, it's old, and it's going to be an interesting investigation. So we have to do our best to cut down on contamination, kind of look at some of these claims and see what we can find. Dr. Clore, you know, kind of set us out with a cool game plan, and working with him the last couple of cases has been fantastic. So I say we just make a run and see what we can find.
So there's a lot of belief that deposits of iron and manganese can affect the electromagnetic fields in an area, and that this can lead to psychic phenomena, spiritual phenomena, ghosts, all kinds of different sightings. I don't think the deposits would actually cause any paranormal activity or an increase in paranormal activity, but I do believe that the belief that it does could then lend people to be more focused. So when they hear a noise or something falls off a shelf, that they're going to attribute it to a ghost or a spirit or an evil entity. So I think it's the perception of these materials might affect people's interpretation of events around them.
Literally, everyone we've talked to said that no matter where you dig in Augusta, you're gonna find bones. So being that this is a location that does have, you know, reports of disembodied voices, so I think EVP would be something to concentrate on. This recorder here I've had since I think 2008, something like that. This is what I always refer to as old trusty, because I got so many EVPs on it. There's one thing about recorders like this. This gives a lot of false positives, right? And when you see people conducting EVP sessions, or you see people trying to capture electronic voice phenomena, they hold these recorders in their hands, right? This device is very much housed in a plastic body. The mic you can see is right there on top. And this thing, if you barely hold it, you barely move it, you're gonna hear these sounds, and it's gonna sound like electronic voice phenomena. So let's go ahead and start a recording. Ask a few questions, see what happens. I'll ask a few questions. We'll leave a 10-second pause between each question asked. I'll hand it to you. You ask a few questions. We'll listen live.
All right. Let's go through here.
It's such a drastically different environment up here and different energy to me, to be honest.
Well, there's hardly any electricity. EMF's not really a factor. I know this thing's active. How does this even get electricity? They have to take it from like next door. This was on at one time. Where'd it come from? Ghost energy?
Oh my God.
All
I think
right.
this place is rigged for power. It's just not a lot of power.
It's like enough for like one old
God,
Nokia cell phone.
so gnarly.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is Brandon and Kevin in the 1811 jail here in Augusta, Kentucky. We are here to speak with anyone that's possibly here tonight. We come here with respect. We're not here to disrespect you or this jail. We just want to find out who you are and possibly document your presence.
EMF is pretty much non-existent.
0.
Over here. I mean, it's well below 1 milligauss. And honestly, even the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 that I'm getting is probably a result of me just like walking around and like, you know, my own natural chemistry that I have.
Yeah.
That just gives it up. I'm so charming. Haha. That's my initials, MG.
You milligap?
This is how low my energy is right now.
Jeez.
So cold.
Can you tell us your name? All right, hand this off to Kevin.
So if you're in here with us and you can hear us, could you please come up and speak into this device and tell us that you can hear us? Can you tell me if you were an inmate at this jail?
Okay, we're going to end session.
Okay, this is Brandon and Kevin in the 1811 jail here in Augusta, Kentucky. We are here to speak with anyone that's possibly here tonight. We come here with respect. We're not here to disrespect you or this jail. We just want to find out who you are and possibly document your presence.
See, it almost sounds like
Hear
something
that?
right there.
Yeah, I hear it's me in this jail. Listen. Here's what's interesting about that. That was not EVP in any way, shape, or form. Literally, as I was holding this device, I shifted my hand on this plastic. And you hear this again, listen. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little shift. Hear that? The internal mechanism and the internal recorder and the mic on here, it sounds, because it's such a low bit recording, it's such a low quality recording device, it sounds like whispering.
Let's start in this room. Let's go back, let's go over here. Let's go back here. All right, let's see what we can get going. All right.
I do feel like too, though, like I think it's worth noting that this space that we're in right now, like this is what the jailer's private residence would have been, because in this room,
Yeah.
this would have been essentially intake, right? But
Yeah.
what's odd about that is, unless there was another door, which does not appear there was, they would have had to go through the jailer's private residence to come into this room and then get put down the trap door. Isn't that strange?
I don't think I was listening to what you were saying because I was just feel cool holding this thing, man.
Do you feel like a man?
Why are you gonna like put me on blast like that? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm about to like embarrass myself at like a hatchet throwing like corporate event. Hey guys, like 3 pitchers in, you're like, ooh, throw it and it bounces
I'm
off.
actually really good at throwing those. I'm not even kidding, I'm freaking good.
Pin a rose on your nose, all right? Not all of us have that. Maybe I'm not meant to be a murderer, Malia.
Oh, that feels good.
Right? You get real hatchety.
Lizzie Borden style.
Oh, I don't like the way you're looking at me. Well,
Say something mean to me now.
you look dumb with that hatchet.
So let's go ahead and set this maybe in this cell right here.
39 degrees.
It's cold. It's definitely cold. Oh, pressure right off the bat. Look at. That's rare. Again, we're here with respect. We're not here to disrespect you or this jail. We would just love to communicate with you if possible. And this device that's sitting on top of that cot over there can detect your presence.
Can you try that again, please? This also kind of reminds me of Jailer's Inn, how things would move as soon as we would go into a room, it would go into another one.
Can you come out and show yourself, please? Are you in here? Oh, there we go. Temperature change. I'm getting that feeling again. It's like literally like we're look right there. Boom. It's like we're chasing a freaking cloud. It's like this. And look at it. I move. You right here. Every time we walk into that environment changes like that, I feel this sensation in my stomach. It makes you feel sick. And it like takes off. You see that? Because if it was oh, right here. You can physically feel that cold.
The jail that I'm in right now, the surrounding area, history has it that there's over 10,000 Native American bodies that have been buried in the surrounding property and hills. And I believe that would lend people to believe in spirits in this area. I know for myself, hearing this, it seems very creepy to think that this used to be an ancient Indian burial ground. And having seen enough horror movies, I could expect that something very awful might happen. However, I've yet to experience anything myself, and in talking to the residents of the town, there have been no stories told to me about Indian spirits.
We are going to use this device called the Paralight we did use in other investigations, and we're not using devices that are made for paranormal specifically. I know that our buddy Jeff made these, and we have tested them. They are pretty shielded and react pretty well, but because we had interaction with these devices at the Jailer's Inn.
If you can see me and hear me, will you come up and touch this device so I can know?
What was
Yes,
that?
that means yes.
What was that, the Paralight?
Yep. So that means you can see me, correct? Do it one more time. Will you come and touch this one more time for me?
I went all the way up to the top.
So we're gonna give it another run and see what happens. So I'm gonna set this one back here in this mode. Yeah, saw that, right?
And a thing to keep in mind in this is I know if the handles, you hit the handles, it'll go off.
Like that.
But you had your finger in between them.
Yeah. And it was like a, oh. That's weird. It was right here first, and then it seemed to be over here, but look at nothing. That was weird, right? Oh, here we go again. Right here. Electricity right here?
There is very...
That was consistent. So the 1811 jail is actually the heart of Augusta. If you look at the original city plans, right on the riverfront, there are buildings that date back to the late 1700s. And this building was the center of the original plans of the city. It expanded after the war, after the Civil War, but this place, this specific building, is the heart of it all.
Is there anybody who used to work in the jail here with us right now? A jailer? We have some devices set up over here. We have that lantern. If you touch that, that'll go off and make a loud noise and a cool bright light. And there's a box with a blinking red light and some orange numbers. That's fun. And then we also have a, I'm so condescending. I can't be sincere. I am so sorry. I apologize. Thank you for letting me into your home. My name is Mustafa. This is my friend Malia. And we also have another box here with a white light. And if you were to touch that, that'll let us know that you're here. It seems like whoever's here is responding to our conversations about the ancient burial mounds here. Sorry if our questions are too pointed and if we're laughing too much. I know it's coming off as disrespectful. Thank you so much. Thank you. I apologize again for my behavior that way. So I'm going to ask, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Again, I apologize. I'm going to backtrack and are we, okay, let's just see what that is, because that could just be, I don't know why we're constantly getting pressure
hits,
changes.
I don't know
I'm gonna
either.
open up the Firefox app. What is that? This same thing happened at the Conrad Caldwell, and we got weird stuff there.
That's true.
Now, when you've been in this room, have you ever personally had any experience in this room?
I was turning the lights on in here one day and a lady's voice said, hello. I said hello back, but nobody said anything.
Do you think it was Elaine?
I would like to think it is. I feel her presence in this house, especially on the second floor.
That's interesting. It's going off when you said that.
My great-grandmother did not want to move in here. He had to bribe her by saying, you can decorate it any way you like. And that's the only way she would move in. She said it was too big and too pretentious.
Interesting. So you think your grandfather was, that's a strange thing. I mean, I have to admit, it's a little strange to carry a picture of your friend's house in your wallet.
But this was a unique house, and I think he loved it.
Okay.
And I think he always wanted it. But like I said, he didn't want his friend to die to get it, but
interesting.
He loved living here.
Interesting, that's really going on.
So constantly going off, it stopped.
It stopped.
Okay,
There it is
back
again.
on. Let's go.
But nothing else is going off. The paralight or the trifield.
Pressure.
If someone is trying to talk with us, could you please make one of the other devices next to that green box go off? The lantern right next to it will light up different colors and it will help us know that you're here with us.
Were you ever locked up in this jail?
Oh, pressure. And yep, pressure and temperature right here. Have you been on this land for a long time? Again, we come here with respect. We don't mean any disrespect or harm. We'd just love to communicate with you if possible, please.
So there was actually really significant pressure changes that occurred.
Oh, whoa.
So you have those aberrations there while that was going on,
Yeah.
and then huge drops there too.
Okay. Well, okay. Thoughts.
This is a big drop in
Huge.
barometric pressure.
Okay.
I'm recording that.
Interesting thought. Are you annoyed with our banter? I apologize if I've been disrespectful.
Because it seemed like when I was really trying hard to be like sincere.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize for that. We're kind of going back and forth too much like that. So hopefully you've accepted our apology. We would love to talk with you.
This device right here in front of me can document your presence. Whoa, shit.
What?
This thing just fell off. Did you see that?
What fell off?
I caught it, thank God.
If your remains are under this jail, can you let me know, please, by touching this device that's sitting next to me?
Look at that, even like shaking it kind of hard. So like I set it up like that, and then walked over here, and there was the pressure changes before that, and then it just like came like that, and I was back here, so I was like, I caught it, but it's kind of hard to make it. Not sure if that was something paranormal per se, but it's kind of, you gotta kind of shake it kind of hard. It was pretty in there. That was kind of weird.
So for whatever reason, there was sharp drops in barometric pressure around the time that we were apologizing, for goofing off too much.
Does it bother you when people goof off too much and are disrespectful in a space? Again, we're really sorry that we were joking too much. I really, really am sorry.
I don't know what's causing that too, but it's weird. I started getting a weird feeling while I was looking at that.
Uh-huh.
And we had a huge spike in barometric pressure as well.
Do you want me to move that over there?
No, I think we leave that where it is. I think for now we leave that where it is.
Now there's a lot of bones here in town. I know that a guy put in a garage. There was 18 of them in a circle, all head to head with their feet out when they dug that basement. There was one in a cave. UK did a study on it. It was 11 foot tall. But the guy got scared and he figured people would want to come in. So after they excavated the bones, they sealed the cave.
So around the world, there's periodically claims of finding skeletons that are 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall, 11 feet tall. In this area in particular, there are claims that 11-foot tall skeletons have been found. I would love to see this skeleton. I'd like to examine the evidence of it. I'm always very skeptical when someone says there's a giant, basically, that has been discovered. Though there are various historical references to giants in the past, most people attribute that to sort of fantasy and storytelling.
So this room we're in now, is this portion you're seeing here is kind of a recreation of what was initially outside. Obviously we're still in the original part of the jail, but this right here is the original lashing posts and whipping posts. So what you're seeing here is original, but this was on the exterior of the building, but they used to whip people on this post. And we did hear a story that the rule was you can only lash people 39 times because when you got to 40, it would kill people.
The rule was 39, and that was it. So
there had to have been somebody at some point that hit 40. And they're like, that's one too many.
Mm-hmm, that's one too many, probably. Yes, it just breaks your heart.
Yeah, I would say that thing holds some energy.
Oh, that just went off. Hello? Oh. Look at, dude, I just went 2.4 on there. On the tri-field. Did you see that?
Are you standing in here with us right now?
That was correlating, dude. This room does feel weird.
Do you have a...
Look at just 1.2. Look at it's going up again.
Do you have a story that you can tell us about this post?
That thing started spiking like crazy.
Were you ever slashed on that post?
1.9, look at this. Look at 2.0.
Oh,
2, it went up to 2, look at.
And now it's back down to a 0.2. Something's in here.
Yeah, for sure.
It,
again, look at, whoa, look at.
Holy shit.
If that's you, can you please let us know? Oh, look at, okay, thank you. If this is a person in here, if you're here with us, oh wow, dude. Can you make that go over a 3 milligauss? It just went to 2.5, did you see that?
And now it's a 0.1.
If you know that we're here to communicate with you, can you make that go up past a 3? Or make it spike at all? That's crazy.
It's holding at a 0.1 right now.
It went up to like a
0.2.
3.5 at one point.
If you're still in here with us, can you touch this one again and make it go off? Make the lights come on? Dude, this is exactly like Jailer's Inn.
Jailer's Inn.
We started that
2.9. It went to 2.9 again. Look at. What is going on right now?
And another thing to keep in mind too, we're in a building inside of a building.
Dude, it went to 6.9. Look at 5, 4. Look at that. Look at this. Thank you so much. Thank you. What the hell?
There's nothing over there.
Thank you so much. What do we ask? And it's happening now. Thank you.
Can you touch this one beside of it?
What in the world?
But it's not touching the EDI or the Paralight.
No. Thank you. Dude, 8.9. Six. Look at this. And then it goes back to 0.1. Thank you so much. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. If this is okay. Thank you. If this is a man we're talking to, can you make that spike like that again? If this is a man. Oh,
whoa, pressure changes.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And so just to clarify, you are a male, a man. Look at this. Thank you so much. Okay, if you could step away from it and make it stop. Thank you.
Do you have a story that you want to tell us?
Are you someone that's been on this land for many years, long time? Which went up to 9.5, dude.
Are you what they refer to as the Ancient One?
Dude, it's cool. Look at this. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Is your body still in this area?
So right now, Mustafa's grabbing the Paralight. We have the Tri-Field, we have the EDI Plus. We're gonna set it up just like how Kevin and I had it earlier. So we're gonna see if we can recreate the results that we had. But again, if you're looking at this, still 0.1, 0.2, the same exact reading throughout the entire jail, from upstairs to the cells to this room right here, right by the whipping post. So we're gonna see if we can replicate the results that we had earlier.
This is exactly where, oh, there we go. Thank you.
It jumped up to 1.4 milligauss.
Did it? See, this is how it happened last time. This exactly, so it went from there to the Tri-Field. So again, if it was high EMF, the Tri-Field would be, look, where we go.
Jump
See?
it up.
Yep, went to 1.4. If this is someone that we were speaking with earlier, can you make that device spike again, go up higher? Thank you. Appreciate that. Stop his face.
Hello.
Mustafa.
Hi, I was here earlier before and I tried to communicate with you. It seems like we were having interactions with someone here who wanted to talk about, the ancient ones or people who were buried here on this land. Is there something about this? It jumped up to 2.2. Yeah. Is there somebody in this building who wants to talk about the individuals who are buried here? If that's the case, what is it that you want to talk about? Are you upset that Are you upset that the stories of people who are buried here are not being told?
It's on airplane mode, right?
Yeah.
See? It's wild. Like you walk up on something.
It is like you walk up on something. Does this have to do with pressure?
Pressure. There it is. That correlates.
Does this have to do with visitors?
Pressure, yeah. Makes no sense, right?
Nah. Freaking trippy, dude. It seems like every time we're referencing reaching out and talking, that's when we're getting responses.
It starts with the Paralite, it moves to the Trifield, then it went to the EDI plus. So you had EMF on the Paralite, high EMF spikes on the Trifield, and then pressure on the EDI. And it makes no sense. Like, but we did replicate this, and that's exactly what we have to do. Like, if this phenomenon is happening and it's taking place, we should be able to document it multiple times, and we just did that.
You know, when you think about the emotional aspect of a place like Augusta, we're right on the Mason-Dixon line, right on the Ohio River, and there was a lot of enslaved people during the war that were trying to get to freedom.
One of the things that I really loved that Janet brought up was, you know, you can't change history. You can't change the darker part of Augusta's history, but they're doing a lot to showcase it and talk about it now. They want to have those conversations.
Augusta, Kentucky's built on so many bones that when General William Payne came here and got this land, and maybe it was foisted on him by, you know, Captain Buckner, who's like, hey man, here's a land filled with bones, I don't want them. General William Payne said there wasn't a single part of the ground that he could dig up where he didn't find bones.
Our investigation at the historic 1811 jail yielded unexpected results. In our years of research, we have often come across fantastical claims of otherworldly entities deeply rooted in a locale's culture, with little evidence or documentation gathered to support them. And while the environmental aberrations we cataloged whenever a reference was made to these entities could purely be coincidental, the nature of our investigation shifted once we mentioned them. Do these ancient ones have any influence on the reports of strange activity, or are these claims echoes of the area's bloody and often tragic past that have been preserved in ways that defy our understanding?
The house is one of those places that you never know what you're going to get. And we tell everybody, don't focus entirely on the house because it's the entire property. A lot of shadow play, a lot of disembodied voices. You'll hear it sounds like furniture moving around, doors opening and closing. People have actually seen, caught pictures, multiple pictures of the mannequins in different positions.
The things that I experienced here has been crazy over the years, but I had a first. I was up in the little girl's room, this flash of light right beside of me, and one other person experienced it, and we didn't have any idea what was going on. Octagon Hall has an activity that I've never seen before, and I've been to hundreds and hundreds of locations. It's almost like this place knows you. When you come here and you really get seated and rooted here, that it remembers you, it knows you.
Octagon Hall. I know, Kevin, you've been here before, right?
Yes, a couple times.
And Malia, I know you've done a lot of historical research.
I mean, honestly, I think this is our most Civil War heavy location that we have been to. I mean, it is smack dab in the middle of it, mainly because the family themselves, the Caldwells, the original owners and builders of the home, were willing to put their entire lives at stake to hide Confederate soldiers. I mean, they literally put their lives on the line because they supported the cause, and you just don't hear a lot about that. You know, you have people that'll leave the area or just kind of like, you know, recede back into the house and just wait for it to pass. They took an active role in helping the people they were believing in, and they had retribution from Union troops. Their water source was poisoned. You know, they broke a bunch of the stuff in their houses. Like, it was just a really bad situation. And then you also have, around the same time, a ton of deaths happening in the Caldwell family. You have the tragic death of the daughter, Mary Elizabeth. What the story goes is she was down in the winter kitchen, which is in the basement of the home, and embers caught her dress on fire, and she would suffer from those burns and die a week later, which is horribly tragic. And they would also lose their 18-month-old son when he fell down the stairs and broke his neck, and I can't even imagine how tragic. I mean, it's the worst thing in life to lose a child, and they lost 2. You also have the death of both of Andrew Caldwell's wives in the home. So it's just like tragedy after tragedy, mixed with all of this war going on, mixed with soldiers dying on the property, having limbs amputated in the basement. It's just, it's a field day, to be honest. It's like pick your poison. It's just bad all the way around. All right, Barry, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and telling us your relationship with the Octagon Hall.
My name is Barry Bear Gaunt, and my relationship here with the Octagon Hall is I am the museum director. I've been here at the Hall for over 14 years.
Wow.
And it's a very interesting place.
Yeah, I would say so. I can honestly say that it's imposing. Like seeing this place off the road, it's like it harkens from a different era. You can feel it, like the property, the home, this is different. Like as soon as you get here, you know you're dealing with something special. It's different, right? So I'm really curious for you. I mean, 14 years is a long time to be the director of a place. What keeps you here?
I love it, Malia. It's one of these places that calls you here. You know, so many people come to the Hall and they leave and they don't feel anything, and other people come and it becomes part of their lives. I mean, it actually will. I feel like, well, if I'm not at the Hall, I've got to get here. And I know it might sound strange, but the spirits will sometimes call me here. If there's something that's wrong at the house, I know it at my house.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like you feel like if something's going on here, you feel like you're still connected to it even when you're not on the property.
Oh, yeah. And then when you get into the Civil War, you know, it also is just, I don't consider it to be the Civil War. I call it the war between the states because the history shows me that there was nothing civil about that war. Why you call it a civil war, I don't know, but there was nothing civil about it. And this house proves it and shows it because the tragedies and the terrible things that happened here. You know, you have 9,000 Confederate soldiers coming to this house, and they're all over the backyard. They come from Bowling Green where they were being shelled for 72 hours. And they get here and there's wounded, so the house automatically becomes a hospital. And when it becomes that hospital, it's downstairs in the basement. And dirt floors, imagine back then. They're bringing in men, bloodied.
It's weird. I've even said, like, this place kind of put me in a weird mindset. And it's a really cool place, but I kind of really don't like being in here. Like there is a true heaviness here that is very different. But I feel like that really makes sense because of everything that you just said. I mean, this place is just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And the house itself is weird. I mean, we're in an octagon house. There was a moment in American history where those were a fad that was attempting to happen, but there's not a lot of them. I think this is one of 2 that are left in Kentucky?
There's none. This is the only one in Kentucky.
This is the only one left in Kentucky.
Right.
Okay.
An octagon-shaped house is a 3-story brick house with a cupola on top of it. There are 3 left in the country. I believe one's in Virginia, the other's in Louisiana. Wow. And this one right here. And it's a marvel. And we find through our research, Andrew Jackson Caldwell, who built this house, is a Masonic member. And he is not only a Masonic member, he's a 33rd degree Mason, the highest that there is. And he incorporates stuff in here. And it's funny, Masons do come into the house. They will never tell you anything. You know, they just look at the house and go, I could tell a Mason lived here. And maybe every once in a while they'll say, you know, you built a spirit trap here. And I tell them, if you build a spirit trap here, it's one of the best ones I've ever seen. Because there is a lot of energy stored in this house, and it flips on and off just like a light switch sometimes. You can be sitting here, oh, there's nothing going on. In the next 2 minutes, the house breaks wide. We have seen full body apparitions. Day and night, shadow figures roam the property and are seen in the property. We are sitting on limestone. We have an underground water source that runs underneath here. It's on a cave system. It is on ancient property. So we had Palo Indians and all the stuff here. So you can just imagine. And the other weird thing about it is it sits at the 37th parallel. There are bone piles of bones and arms and legs of men here. There are people that died here that are not marked, yes. There are also mass graves on the property. When the Union did away with all of the wounded, they just dropped them in a hole, and they're all out here. There is probably more graves on this property also, because we talked about the Palo Indian and the other part of it. There's a mound out here on the property. There are several mounds on this property in the past. So, you know, like I said, you're dealing with ancient stuff.
Billy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good to see you again, buddy.
Good to
How's
see
it
you.
going?
Doing good.
Good. What you got for us today?
Oh, we're gonna do some ground penetrating radar. Through the history of this place, you know, we've came across where when the Union came through and was running from Bowling Green, Kentucky to Nashville, they stopped here to do their medical treatment to their soldiers, the wounded soldiers. And then after that, as a few days passed, the Union was approaching, so they had to vacate really quick and retreat south. So they said that the Union, when they overtook this place, they actually killed their wounded, and they buried them out here in the backyard somewhere. So we're here to find them.
So right now we have Billy here from the Simpson County Historical Society, and he's brought out a ground penetrating radar unit. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to drag it through the yard out here and see if we can find some of these graves that are unmarked of these soldiers and who knows who else that may be buried on this property. So the graves that are here that we do know about, there's a family plot that's over there that has some of the family members that used to live in the house, and there's also a unmarked slave cemetery that's off to the side with some graves of some unknown soldiers as well. And so there's supposed to be more throughout the yard here, so that's what we're gonna try to find.
Now this unit here is actually the radar system here. It actually connects to this cart, and it just drags along the ground. Okay. And then I'll have a unit up here to display all the data that it's reading. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take a walk forward a few feet, and then we'll stop, pull back, and do another walkthrough, okay? This is more or less taking slice after slice after slice of this general area here, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna continue on here, and we'll push forward, kind of at a slow pace a little bit, until we find something interesting.
My name's Doogie, and you know, I've had a relationship here with Octagon Hall for many years, probably 15 years plus. And my first outing here was just here to look at Civil War stuff, you know, the museum, you know, just to kind of take in the history around Franklin, Kentucky. And boy, did it bloom into something totally different. Octagon Hall has an activity that I've never seen before. And I've been to hundreds and hundreds of locations. And this place brings something totally different. It's almost like this place knows you. When you come here and you really get seated and rooted here, that it remembers you, it knows you.
So this right here is 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, 18 feet, and 21 feet. Okay. So what's interesting about this little point here is it's like what I call a cross section. And a cross section is where it's showing me that this place, it was dug before, okay? It'll show like layer after layer, but when it crosses at this point right here, it tells me that the ground was disturbed at one point in time. We will put a flag here, yes sir. If you notice, the device has an arrow to the side. We usually just kind of get next to this arrow and we'll come back to it.
My name's Isaac Jones. I'm the executive director of the Octagon Hall Museum and Octagon Hall Foundation. My grandfather started the foundation in 2000, and after his passing, I got control of it. The energy in this house is different on a day-to-day basis, and even on an hour-to-hour or minute-to-minute basis. You can be sitting in here and it all be, happy and, fine, and then all of a sudden it just straight changes and it just gets sad and you start feeling depressed. And there are people that are empaths that can really get us feeling for the feelings that are, or the energy that's there. But even people that aren't can walk to a different room in the house or just wait 5 minutes and the energy completely changes. I have seen shadow figures, just full body apparitions.
All right, now this is interesting here. Let me show you this point here. You see how it kind of humps over? That tells me that there is something 6 feet right below our feet, and it's kind of a burial. Okay.
So what we just found now, looking at this being 6 foot below right now, would this be a single grave?
That could be. It's a possible single grave, yes. But again, that's what we got to do. We got to kind of process this out, because we can start at this point, we can go forward, then we'll pull back and go right beside where we just came, and it'll hit us. It'll hit again to tell us, how long this little hit is here. Okay. So it could start right here. It could start over here, but
so based on this right now, you can't tell if it's a grave that's laying this way or this way.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
The house is one of those places that you never know what you're gonna get. And we tell everybody, don't focus entirely on the house because it's the entire property. I mean, I believe at one point it was 300 acres. We had soldiers from both sides here. A lot of bad things happen, things that we don't talk about.
I was here Friday night for an event before you guys come in, and I got one of the craziest things that had ever happened to me here. I'm in the little girl's room upstairs, and I get this flash of light beside of me, and it was like somebody just had a strobe light. And I've never had that experience before, and so I said, I need to pull my recorder out and do a burst session to see who I'm talking to get validation that there's somebody here. Well, I've got that recorder with me, and I also have that recording.
Was that you that caused the flash right beside of me just a minute ago? Were you trying to show yourself? Can you go out and scare the people in the barn? Can you tell me who's talking downstairs right now?
You might talk to several entities at one time, and then all of a sudden it's almost like a shift or a fog kind of rolls in and things change. You're not getting the same names anymore. You're getting somebody else communicating with you.
When it's a pre-1900 burial site, I come to find out that you see where whoever it was buried is just like, there's no coffin. If they put them in a wood box be deteriorated by now. So you'll see the disturbance in the ground.
So being pre-1900s and knowing what we know about this property, do you think that's possibly a Civil War era grave?
It's possibly, yes, definitely a pre-1900. So we're looking at anywhere from early 1850s, 1840s, on up. Okay.
Well, looks like we already got something right here.
Right here. Okay. So that's definitely a new target for us. So again, it could start from here and go back. So again, this is just a big process. Well, the data that I've gathered, it's consistent of a burial. The depth and the width. The data is showing that it is an unmarked grave, and it could be connected to the sightings that are out here. It's a great feeling, but it's also kind of disturbing, because we're creating more history, and that's what I love, is the history of this place.
You'll see them in the house, you'll see them outside.
Sometimes it looks like lanterns, sometimes it looks like a car coming at you, but it's just a field out back, and when you start talking about it and you're going, look at the lights, where's that car coming from, because it looks like 2 headlights, it'll just disappear. There's no sound to it, there's nothing, it's just 2 lights coming at you, and then it'll just disappear.
What?
Yes. It's a female, and you can see her popping out of this. There's 2 other pictures. It's the same picture. It's just this way. In this picture, there is a picture of a lady here in this house. And that lady is over the fireplace, and she's with Andrew Jackson Caldwell, and that's the second wife. And when the Union was here, that picture was taken in late 1863. The Union Army, when they were here, she was trying to defend a wonderful housemate of hers. She unfortunately is thrown off. A Union officer yells at her, "You'll never do that again," grabs her, pulls out a saber, and cuts her hand off. So when you look at so when you look at her picture, you're gonna see her like this, and she's like sitting like this, and her left hand is a prosthetic. It's a wooden hand, and it's a larger wooden hand, and her thumb's up in the air. It's a which we call push-pull. So when you look at the picture, and if you look at her left hand, you can see how it kind of comes out kind of weird like this.
Yeah.
And if you look how straight it is, and look at the thumb sticking out.
Yeah.
A lot of times, in a paranormal picture or a full body apparition picture, they don't have name tags. Well, that is almost a sure signal to be able to tell you that that's Harriet Morton Caldwell, the second wife, out in the barn.
One very cool thing about this investigation here is the nerve center is a different setup because we were actually tapping into Octagon's DVR system. They kind of run this place as a paranormal research facility in a way. They have cameras literally everywhere, in every room. And so not only do we have full access to that, but we have our cameras as well. So you can see, 1 is gonna be their full DVR system. 2 is one of our cameras here where these mannequins are said to move. 3 is this room with the dolls. A lot of activity said to take place there. And 4 is gonna be a live view of all of our environmental conditions, which is really great. So not only are we gonna be able to see that in real time, it's being recorded internally. So we have a lot of technology here, a lot of information coming through, and with a place, with as many claims as Octagon has, it's fantastic. We begin our investigation by sending Kevin to the Enslaved People's Cemetery.
So right now, since there's so many reports of lights and stuff that fly around in these fields, around the cemetery, out of the cemetery, over to the barn, I just kind of want to stand here for a second and just kind of observe the atmosphere before walking into it, just to see if I see anything moving around.
In the autumn room, Mustafa and I test the theory that Masonic practices may be linked to the unexplained activity at Octagon Hall. Alright, you ready for this, man?
Hell yeah, dog. You got the book?
Got it.
Oh, Masonic mysteries.
Alright, so what I'm thinking is we just kind of hang out, enjoy the space, incorporate this Masonic piece of literature, and see what happens.
Yeah, I want to feel like 2 elderly, distinguished gentlemen, Not that elderly.
Not that elderly.
No.
Getting there, though.
Getting
there, for
There's
sure.
some gray in the beard.
I was sitting on this bench, which I now know marks an unmarked grave, which I had no idea until today. I was basically sitting here, like this, kind of head down. And I watched, in my peripheral, a person walk from this tree to this tree. And at the time, it was a light-colored figure, so I thought it was one of the girls with us because she was wearing kind of a light-colored khaki. And I watched it, and I looked up, waiting for it to come out from around the other tree, and it never did. I looked over, she's still standing over there talking, so I get up and walk over there, and no one is over there at all. So whatever I seen wasn't who I thought it was.
All right. So we have this Masonic piece of literature here. They say that energy throughout this place changes drastically at various times of the day. It kind of comes and goes, but we're really gonna hit the Masonic angle now. See what happens. So we're running on a Zoom H6 audio recorder. Pressure right there. Pressure. Right off the bat.
Were you a soldier in the Civil War? I just jumped up to a 4.1. Let's try that again. Were you a soldier in the Civil War? If so, please come up and touch this device in my hand. Whoa, did you see that? $11.5?
Going through our process, going through our work, that's when it happens. And that's what Isaac and Bear say. It's like when they're just going about their business and they're doing it, it's like as almost if the entities are interested. But what I'm interested in finding out is if once we crack this open and we start, you know, reading through it, looking through it, maybe that might kind of churn up some activity that's different from the other stuff we've been experiencing. You know, theoretically, what if there's like an entity here that doesn't want us talking about it?
Yeah. Will you come up and touch this again? 5.1. Oh, look at this thing.
All right, so we're gonna try to be as delicate and tactful with not revealing too much. Again, you know, I'm not a member of the Freemasons, nor are you, as far as I know.
Maybe not.
Good response. But let's see if they talked about, I want to know is if they talk about spirits, right? Ghosts, spirits, they probably call them spirits in this, right?
Let's take a look. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in the index there.
Whoa,
So.
Templars. That's cool. My dad would flip out right now if he was
Yeah.
seeing this book. Oh, he'd be like, you got it, how'd you get it? That's how my dad sounds, because he wants to know. Okay, sulfur. Whoa, sun? Oh, sun said to die and be born again at the winter solstice. We'll do spirits and then we'll do autumn, because it's autumn.
It's autumn. And again, this building is built to a specific Masonic belief, right? So you have cardinal directions with each of these rooms, and you have various times of the year associated with that as well. So autumn room, right? And it's autumn, so we're gonna see what happens, but I do think it's really interesting. As soon as we sat down and started to talk about what we're about to do, we did get pressure changes.
So right now we're out in this cemetery. There's no power at all around us. Nothing out here that would generate any electromagnetic energy. No cell phone on me. I have no idea what would make this go off like that. If you were a Union soldier, will you come up and touch this device? If you were a Confederate soldier, will you come up and touch this device? If you were not a soldier, will you come up and touch this device in my hand? $3.5. Did you live in this house? Are you in one of these unmarked graves? Whoa, 20.8? Dude, I got like full cold chills right now. 9.7? Okay, so I understand, if I'm reading this correctly, that you could be here with us. Is it possible for you to manifest so that I can see you? I know a lot of people have said that they've seen people out here before. 23.2.
Well, the barometric pressure changed by 7 units on the Kestrel, right? So that's like a very, very, very specific and very, what's the word? It's a very accurate device that's measuring that barometric pressure. So an aberration of 7 different units, like within a matter of minutes, is crazy. And it's holding steady at that level, which means that the barometric pressure before may have been like the weird part of it, and then it went back to normal.
It is a little creepy out here after hearing all the stories about what's been seen in this field. Everything from ghosts to balls of light to cryptids to extraterrestrial activity. You just never know what might be standing right behind you. It's like they say, it's not really the dark that freaks you out. It's what lies within the dark that you can't see.
And again, with pressure changes, that's something we've seen with our research, and we've theorized a lot, Mustafa, right? Is that we're trying to see what there is and what the correlation is between what people perceive to be ghosts and hauntings and pressure changes and photon events and EMCCD hits. And yet again, we're testing those theories and having some success, which is great, because that's the entire point of all this, right? It's to theorize, try and repeat those results in multiple locations throughout the country. And again, I think we're having some pretty successful, sessions here.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it's just to talk about it in the most shallowest of terms, right? It's people, they're in the cemetery. They see photon events moving from the cemetery to the barn.
Well, thank you for letting us spend some time with you. Let's head back towards the house. It's been about 45 minutes.
Mustafa and Malia head to the sick room to implement traditional investigative techniques to see if the mannequins move on their own.
Just this here for now while you baby powder.
Oh man, I wanted you to know. I resisted the urge to put it on it.
Slap.
I'm not gonna. Come on.
Well,
I don't hit women. I just, verbally tease them.
I feel like this.
It's kind of racist of you to assume that a Muslim just hits women.
Oh my God, that is absolutely not what I was going for.
That's exactly what it is. That's going in the edit.
Her hands aren't up, so I don't know how to
hang it off her nose. It's pretty pointed.
That's honestly so rude.
Why?
What if I did it on
on her
this?
nipple?
No, on those
Come on.
No, because if it shifts at all, this will ring.
Why does she have a clothespin through her nipple? I just talked about respect, and here I go.
Yeah, this is not respect. In this episode, Mustafa learns how to be respectful.
That's not gonna happen. First, I'd like to just introduce myself to whoever's here. Sorry that I've been yapping so much and if I've been saying some off-color things, but my name is Mustafa.
My name is Malia.
Both traveled from opposite ends of the country.
That's true.
Coast to coast to be here. So thank you for letting us into your home, and if it was against your will and you don't want us to be here, I promise you we'll be out of your hair shortly. And we're just here to document your presence. And we've heard a lot of wonderful things about this place. And sorry, I just lost my train of thought because that mannequin's staring at me. We've heard a lot of wonderful things about this place, and we hope to document your presence here. One of the big claims here is that these mannequins move. Isaac said himself in this area, or no, which room was it? No, it was this room.
I think it's this room.
Isaac said himself that this is the room that always gives him the heebie-jeebies, which is kind of weird because he's been coming here ever since he was a little kid. So, surefire way to find out whether or not, let's not get the brand in there. Surefire way to find out whether or not something's moved is, you can use a bell and that'll ring and that'll let you know if one of these mannequins move. But people say Bear has said that these mannequins shift. So I'm gonna lay some baby powder down on the ground, and if we see that baby powder move or any imprints in there, then we are going to know that this thing moved.
You know what I was thinking? What might be a good place also for baby powder, if we're kind of just playing with this old school technique, is what if we put some right in front of this closet door here, where the trap door down to the hiding spot for the Confederate soldiers was. I like this. I've never done these techniques before.
Usually I huff paint, but baby powder is way more pleasant. All right.
I just don't know why you need to huff anything.
Mustafa lines the threshold of the doorway to the former Confederate hideout in the hopes of capturing movement.
I will say when we first got here, it felt super, super vibey. It was creepy.
Much. It feels very different to me than it did when we first got here.
I was concerned when we first got here that it was just gonna be like too much. I felt like I was in a weird headspace, like, and I just felt like, ugh. And now I actually feel pretty okay.
My face is really hot. Do you feel really hot?
Yeah, actually.
My face is like super hot. What about you? Your face feel hot? Emily?
Actually, yeah.
Are your my cheeks feel flush.
Yeah, my cheeks feel like they're burning.
Like just right here.
It's not hot in here. It's
No, it's
67
not.
degrees.
And if it's a sick room, it's a room of fever.
Pressure hits when we started talking about the sick person. Are you trying to tell us who this is supposed to be? Would you like to, if you touch that box, could you do it again? We'd like to know who this is supposed to be. Is it one of the Confederate soldiers who passed away here?
Is it Andrew Caldwell?
What was that? I gotta check that data logger, see if that was it. Brandon, what's the barometric pressure levels?
29.31.
Okay.
It keeps changing slightly,
Yeah.
but it's changing.
Yeah, we had a change on the EDI. It was just pressure.
It's getting really cold in this hallway.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because it feels hot in here to me. My
It's like
face feels hot in
freezing
here.
in here.
Freezing in there?
67 degrees because I have a data logger in here.
Uh-huh.
It's 67 even in this hallway, but it feels like way colder.
It's 60. It's like 67.9 in here, and my face feels hot.
Yeah, dude, I'm like kind of burning up.
And I was freezing not long ago.
The pressure is dead even in here and in the room you guys are at.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
29.31 even on both. They're exactly correlating.
I kind of wish I got the nursery, to be honest.
Nursery? Let's go in the nursery.
Let's do it. So this is a picture. She would have been way younger here, but this is Mary Elizabeth, who was one of the Caldwell daughters, who was, the story goes, she was in the winter kitchen, which is really interesting. They had like the summer kitchen, which was outside, and the winter kitchen, because it was way too cold to be outside, actually in the basement. And the story goes that she was standing too close to the fire and some embers caught her dress, and she suffered burns that a week later she would actually succumb to, which is just absolutely tragic. And I believe it's her that people think they sense in here, and that's why they have balls in here, because people said that she likes to play with the balls. I mean, she's a little girl. It's felt so like, and my face isn't hot in this room either. And I felt not. Is somebody in here with us right now? Is that you, Mary?
Did you guys just hear that?
What?
That moan?
I didn't hear anything in here. Where did it sound like it was coming from?
Like a deep male voice. Sounded like downstairs.
Yeah. I got the sonic. We're from this side of the house, like over here.
Sounded like it was down this stairwell right here. Sounded like it was down this stairwell right here.
Do you want us to go down? First floor?
Well, you're getting hits in there?
No, it stopped. Once Mustafa left the room, nothing else happened.
Yeah, go check it out.
I'm gonna set this right here.
Hey guys.
What?
The walkie was at full battery, just completely, it's gone. I just tried to key into Kevin and it's dead, completely gone.
Yeah?
How are the other batteries on the other devices?
Looking fine on my end, that's the only one.
That's weird.
That is weird.
We're getting those environmental changes upstairs.
Mustafa and Malia head to the basement to see if they can correlate the changes in environmental data.
This would have, I feel like, would have been a gathering spot too, because you're trying to stay warm in the... Is this a good place to get warm? It's getting pretty cold outside.
if, I don't know. It's not the warmest over here.
But if there was a fire going, it would be. It's the winter kitchen.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's why Mary was down here. She was warming herself.
And that's how she caught fire.
Yeah, I think she stood too close to the flame.
She's trying to warm herself up, and that's
Yeah.
what happened. Ah, man, I don't know.
Because she wouldn't have cooked. She wouldn't have been cooking.
The pressure has changed drastically, though.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, drastically. Went from 21, now it's at 29. It's gone up drastically, and we'll be able to look at the graphs and charts later, but
Okay.
it went up a lot in a short period of time.
That's weird. So
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, what is this the baseline level of the barometric pressure, and before there was, that's the weird part, or?
I don't know, but when you guys were in here initially, it was fine.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like it's like 7 points. So right now we are heading to the cemetery where Kevin just had an experience with very high levels of EMF in an area that has no power lines, no man-made electricity in any way, shape, or form over that particular area. So we're gonna take the EMCCD camera, try and capture some of these shadow people and shadow figures and light anomalies that they've been seeing. So hopefully it's fruitful. Hopefully we can find something. There we go.
Got it.
Look at that, dude. So we have the EMCCD camera pointed out at this area they call the Deadwoods. We can't get out there, so we're taking this long lens with the EMCCD and we're shooting straight out to that tree line. As you can see, I mean, it's completely pitch black. If you point out there, there's nothing there. You can't see anything. But this camera is perfect. Whoa, there we go. That was weird.
What?
We just had something fly towards the camera right there. 14 minutes and 36 seconds. I'm gonna keep recording because let's see if it shows up again. What the hell?
That looks like exactly what, Billy said.
He saw
when it traveled from here to the barn.
That's where Barry got that really crazy photo, right? The one he showed Malia?
Yeah,
that's where
this
this
barn.
We know that you have been captured on visual devices before. Could you show us who you are? Show yourself? We see you, thank you. Can you do that one more time, please? And if that's not too much to ask.
Sorry if we got excited. It's just that we're really, really, really excited at the prospect of being able to talk to you. And I was just saying, like, it's okay for you to come out.
Oh, there it is again. The same anomaly that we documented in the Deadwoods appears in the barn when asked to manifest.
So I know one of the claims out here is lights and stuff flying up out of the cemetery and all over in the field out there. So that's what we're trying to document with the EMCCD camera, is these lights that appear out in these fields.
It's completely, so this is more of like an observation investigation than like a typical like ask.
You know,
And
something just flew right in front of the lens almost.
Kevin and Malia repeat identical results with the EMCCD camera in the enslaved people's cemetery. This is yet another instance where APRA cataloged atypical pressure changes with photon events in the areas that are said to be haunted. One of the intriguing things about Octagon Hall is that it's a prominent Masonic site. And in the past with APRA and investigating for many years, I've been to many historical sites that are also Masonic, from family homes to Masonic temples. Some of the best evidence I've ever captured, some of the most active places I've been are Masonic sites.
There's a complexity of feelings here at Octagon Hall, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is a working museum. It is chock full of artifacts from the Civil War era.
And if there's one thing that we've found strong evidence for in all of our investigations. It's that an active belief, active in action and in practice, oftentimes correlates with paranormal activity.
You walk into a room and it's just like you stop, you get that sense of being watched, a sense of someone being right behind you. What is it? Where do they come from? Why are they here?
There are many who believe Octagon Hall is a Masonic spirit trap, that its construction invites paranormal phenomena. There is nothing speculative about the multiple horrors the property has seen.